in the morning. That's what all this ice is from.
It works. But they just didn't. They didn't do a delay. They just didn't.
They couldn't. It was like still.
Watch what you say. We're live.
Okay.
The meteorologists are watching.
No, yeah, it was like the timing of it was just late enough. Because
too risky.
Yeah, because I started
risky
on a delay. We started at 9:30.
See, I think that's the heightened drone activity on my side of the state. I think is they've seeded the clouds, I guess, and manipulated the weather, so we didn't have as much, I guess. I saw something. I mean, it was a random photo or two photos. I don't remember what state it was in, but it actually happened that a plane, because of what was going on in the atmosphere with water droplets and clouds or whatever, a plane came to land at in a city somewhere, and the flight path on the radar matched perfectly with the rain and the weather that took place, because
it broke the tension,
something like that. Yeah, and it caused precipitation of some sort.
All right, let's do this. GoNintendo Podcast, episode 962, the Bombirdier Podcast. MomBrain, will you tell us about Bombirdier, please?
I'm really sorry, Dew's not here. Isn't there a...
Hey, do Michaels, we speak your name?
Isn't there somebody Bombirdier? A song about somebody Bombirdier in Lord of the Rings?
Tom Bombirdier?
Maybe.
I believe that's as far as my Lord of the Rings knowledge is going to go. I think there's a Tom Bombirdier. I believe so.
I think so.
Wow.
Okay.
Does this Pokemon have big hairy feet?
Well,
feathery.
This Pokemon gathers things up. Bombadil, according to Jovial Jeffer.
There you go.
I got a sneeze coming on.
Bless you.
Thank you. Pardon me. This Pokemon gathers things up in an apron made from shed feathers added to its chest, then drops those things from high places for fun. They're 4 feet 11 inches tall, 94.5 pounds in weight, male or female. The category, of course, is item drop. Abilities include Keen Eye, where the Pokemon's keen eyes prevent its accuracy from being lowered, and Big Pecks, Pecks, which prevents the Pokemon from having its defense stat lowered. And already we found ourselves at the end of the Pokemon section.
Thank you, MomBrain.
I'd love to say it was my pleasure, but alas.
Wow, really?
I'm kidding. It was my pleasure.
1 second, everybody. We're going to start this show earlier than usual, which we're doing right now if you're here live. But there was a YouTube hiccup. It just would not go live. So I had to redo the post and the YouTube thing. So I haven't done the socials or anything. And I don't know. There's people probably still trying to watch the old one. And I don't know. I apologize. But if you manage to find your way to us right now, we appreciate it. All right. I did the social there and I did. Okay. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Oh, they might not find out until 3:15.
Well, I mean, they get the notification that we're live. But, who knows? We'll see what happens. So I imagine it's going to be very quiet. Hello, Jovial Jeffer and Drake and Axel and NicoDarunia and Red Souza and Radical Defect and Ice Dilbert. And that's about it for right now.
Romy Cowboy.
Me, hello. Yes, we're early because, as I said, we were going to start early because the weather in New Jersey is supposed to get pretty bad later today. We're supposed to get ice and snow and sleet and rain and freezing rain and all that stuff. And it's supposed to start a little bit after 6 or something like that. So we're here and we figured we'd start a little bit live or we'd start a little bit early live and we'll see how the show goes. I don't want to say we're going to rush through the show because we're not, but we may be more briskly paced than usual. And I say that and I know it's a jinx, but it is what it is.
And next up, we have the music section. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
I got music.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do. MomBrain is here.
Sure am.
How are you doing, MomBrain?
I'm good. How are you?
Frazzled at the moment, but okay.
Frazzled.
Yeah, I just explained why I was frazzled. If you were too busy
We
not
got it.
playing that rip-off screw pin
But we
game.
got it fixed.
A rip-off screw pin?
Mm-hmm.
Did you beat screw pin?
Let me finish introductions and then
we
we'll
should
get
talk
into
about
it.
that later.
Nicky Hill is here.
Hello.
How are you, Nicky?
I'm here. Glad to be here. Otherwise, I'm an NPC and I just shut down when no one's around coming through with a mission or something.
Do is not here today. We speak your name, Do. I'm sure he'll be back next week.
I would like to hear the views of Do.
No Do this week. I'm so sorry.
Some things should remain a mystery.
Well, this week it is going to remain a mystery. Josh, I was going to introduce you, but everybody knows you're here already.
Why don't you ask George?
And of course, boy, all right, dictating the show today. George is here too. George, how are you doing?
Bon George, no.
Anything you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to share about your week? How you doing? How you feeling?
Just got a lot of frozen limes. I gotta thaw out my limes.
That's the kind of weather it's been in Jersey lately. We're really feeling it. MomBrain had told me we are halfway through winter.
We're more than halfway through.
Yeah, that groundhog saw her shadow.
Did the groundhog bite the guy's ear this year too?
No, I think that was
last year.
It was last year or the year before
Oh.
or something. I don't know.
You know, I saw whoever from Pennsylvania talking about how people want to get rid of the groundhog, and I think we should get rid of it. I don't, it's a funny
Like euthanize it?
yeah, guys.
Goodbye,
that's what I mean.
Punxsutawney
That's
Phil.
what I mean.
And that's in this weather, we're gonna ice them.
I feel bad that the poor thing's got to be like picked up and paraded around and held up in
You didn't
front
want
of
to
a
come
crowd.
out either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just leave them alone. It should be like if the groundhog comes
I mean,
out.
that groundhog is not living in the
stump.
the stump all year long.
Oh,
It's
I
like
know,
a pet,
but I don't.
right?
Yeah, but I don't want him. I don't want the poor thing to have to go through all. It's just,
I mean, yeah, like once a year he's surrounded by thousands and tens of thousands of people, and
Well,
they're all
that's
like
stressful.
chanting, and
Plus,
then somebody's like banging on his door with
Yeah.
their
and they
thing.
hold him up in front of the
Yeah.
crowd and all. Yeah, come
I
on.
mean, he looks pretty chill. I think maybe he's just stunned,
yeah.
but he does
Stunned.
look chill when they
Well,
hold him up.
I heard he's not a fan of the cameras. He does not. Yeah, he wants a public life.
He wants a private life.
That's what he said. Yeah,
He's getting a public life whether he wants it or not.
right.
But he
He's
wants a
not-
private
He
life.
does not want to be in the public eye
I
or in
don't
the private
want
eye.
to be
No.
here, man. What is going on here?
Kidding.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on
Just
that.
want to build a dam and be left alone.
But
I don't.
Oh,
think,
that's not.
no,
That's a
nope,
beaver.
Nope.
Yep.
Groundhog.
Just want to.
groundhogs.
Just
and
want to
the
hug
dam.
my ground and be left alone.
There you go.
Throw me some lettuce or something.
MomBrain, I'll let you tell the story since now that we're done with introductions about Screwpin and all that.
Oh well.
Please,
Cousin.
please
That's
tell the
amuse.
full
That's
details.
that's the what have you played section. What are we doing?
Well, we said it was going to be brisk. A cousin was playing Screwpin Jam Puzzle, and she sent it to all of us, and a bunch of us downloaded it and played it. And then Ramit discovered that we've all been playing a knockoff version all this time. So here we are.
So Screwpin Jam Puzzle is not the right one, or that is the right one, but everybody downloaded another Screwpin game that's not.
See, you need to explain it again
I
because
don't-
Nicky Hill didn't get it.
Go ahead.
The one everyone is playing in our family is a knockoff. We are not playing.
What's the real
what we're
one
not
called?
playing.
Though?
I don't know. Something about screws and pins. Let me.
Now
look it
I
up.
had another version before I downloaded the version the family was playing. I accidentally downloaded a different version, and I don't know if that's the right one or.
But everybody's playing the same thing.
Well, we were all playing.
Everybody is playing the same fake version. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's the real version if you're all playing.
No.
not like
see,
one-
That's why.
No, but it's not like one family member was like, "Hey, everybody's got to get this," so they're playing this version, and then everybody else gets this other version.
That's not the point. But yes, that is true. We were all playing the same wrong version. The official version is from a company that's huge in mobile, Zynga.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Big time.
scrolling through their games to see. Well, you know what? I could probably do this a quicker way. Let's do Zynga. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Zynga Screw Game.
MomBrain, can you do me a favor? Can you grab that Switch game that's like on that box behind you? If it's not too far of a reach.
So
Yeah.
Zynga's is called Screw Jam.
Screw Jam, baby.
Screw Jam. Here it is. And MomBrain, will you tell me the name of the one that we're playing, just so we have it officially?
We are playing
Or were. I'm not playing anymore.
Screw Pin Jam Puzzle.
There you go.
And the other one's called Screw Jam?
Yes.
Hmm.
Take-Two Interactive owned Zynga is suing over its hyper-casual game Screw Jam, which it says was copied by a company called Ad1. This is according to a lawsuit, and this reporting comes from Polygon. The company released Screw Jam, developed by Rollick Games on mobile on December 8th, 2023. It's been downloaded more than 1 million times. The alleged copycat game is Screw Pin Jam Puzzle, which was released April 2024 on iOS. So, yeah, playing the ripoff. And I told, I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. And I went in and I told everybody, like the news and the family chat, and they're all like, whatever. Nobody cares. They want to support the bad guys, the ripper offers.
Okay, well.
I mean, if we all support the ripper offers, then we give them all the power.
Record.
It's gone.
It's deleted.
It's gone. Score one for the good guys.
All 30 levels. All that work. Gone.
It's not. We've talked about this game. It's not really work. Like it's
So
all luck of the
wait,
draw
did
that
you
win.
download the official Zynga game now?
No. Are you supposed to have a screensaver?
Oh, damn it.
My God! This is the first ever webisode.
No, I
That
didn't.
is
I
stupid.
I deleted the ripoff a while ago because I was like, this game.
But you
there's
didn't
no-
go back to Zynga to support them.
I never went to them in the first place. I haven't gotten it.
Right.
But
So now you could make up for lost time.
so I'll download it and not play it, I guess. Yeah, because the game isn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's just a little different. The game isn't.
What's it called? Screw Jam?
Screw Jam is what it said, but
Okay.
let me make sure. I don't want to mislead because it's made by like Rollins Games or something. Developed by Rollick Games. The game just there's like no way to. You don't really play it. It's all predetermined. Like you're gonna win or you're gonna lose, and you're not really doing anything.
So
that
are you
causes to
telling me
win.
that the knockoff was a better version than the official?
No.
But you were playing the official.
No. How does this man get this story wrong every time? We were playing the knockoff the whole
This
time.
is the one that I
That's what I
was
mean. You were playing the knockoff.
Yes.
So for the record, I had the original game and you told me I was playing the wrong one at the time.
And you were as far as what the family was playing.
Okay, but you can still admit you were wrong because she did have the official. You
Well, hold
were
on,
with
hold on.
everyone.
No,
You
no,
were
no, no,
wrong
no,
with
no.
everyone
Looks
else.
like I have the moral high ground now.
No. Hold on. We're talking about a whole separate thing
No.
that has nothing to do with what's going on. I will 100% say I never made the proclamation that we were playing the official game. MomBrain, we were all talking about how one level was very hard to get past. And MomBrain was like, I got past it, no problem. And we were like, what are you talking about? And then we found out she was not playing the same version of the game that we were playing. There was no discussion of unofficial knockoff or anything like that. It was just, oh, you're not playing what we're
Right.
playing. Now we know that the one we all were playing as a family was the unofficial one. So that's why I told them that information, because we don't want to support
No, we
the
get
knockoff.
that. MomBrain, since you've played both, which one would you prefer? Which one's a better game?
The original. No, I don't know. I haven't played this one enough to be able to say for sure.
No.
Well, if I remember, what the hell? If I remember correctly, like the one you were playing that you were breezing through seemed like it was, not made to get you to just watch as many ads as possible. It was, there was a more natural progression of difficulty. So.
What about have you played my game that I was trying to put out there? It's a Screw Pin Lime Juggle.
Oh, cool.
Tell me more.
the lines are all screwed together, and you got to unscrew the right screws to win the puzzle, and then get the juice.
George, it sounds dangerous to put screws in limes.
I unlocked an extra hole.
See, better game already.
I got a line for that hole.
So yeah, I don't like the shadiness of it, and I was like, family, we gotta, I'm not like hail corporate or anything like that, but if we're all playing the knockoff version, somebody stole somebody else's idea, I'm like, oh, that's gross. Hi, Backseat Studios, good to see you. Hi, Super Sanchez, good to see you. Hi, NicoDarunia, if I didn't say that. Yeah, see, I knew. Yeah, see, SD, thank you for joining. I apologize. SD, there's nothing I can do. It sucks. The something happened with the first when we tried to go live on YouTube. It just crapped out. Or no, it didn't crap. Well, it never started. It just said going live and then spun and spun and spun and spun. And I don't know, there was some kind of hiccup, so I had to restart the whole thing, and there's no way for me to do that without just making a new stream altogether. So I apologize. Let me see if, and I wish.
Can you put out another tweet?
I only put
Another
out
alert?
one social media
people get-
message with the link to the correct one.
And
But
peop-
if
and
you're
people get an
subscribed to the-
alert,
If you're
for-
subscribed to
through
the YouTube
YouTube.
channel, you get the subscription or you get the notification for whatever. You know what, MomBrain or Nicky Hill, do you guys have anything to talk about while I try and like get rid of this old one if it's still floating around in there?
no.
I'd say probably not.
Thanks, guys.
A couple times this week I have been to Costco
Mm.
and it was packed both times. And so I went last weekend. And so, it was a Saturday, so of course it's busy. But then this week I went on Friday during the day, and it was packed. And I was like, where are all these people coming from? And like, what? Like, it was insane. So good for Costco. But holy cow. Also, Freddie Fro says they're on their way home from Paddington in Peru.
Oh, where do they live? Don't say that. Hi,
Yeah,
Freddie.
I
Fro,
thought
good
it.
to
I
see
thought that comes out on the
you. It
14th.
does. Yeah.
Ooh, maybe they had a special screening.
Yeah, like pre-Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Valentine's Day that it comes out here anyway.
Well, that's exciting. I hope it was wonderful.
All right. Well, it's clear that if I don't take over here, we're just gonna have dead air. So I
Well, they
apologize.
have that
Hopefully, you'll
company-
find your
they've
way
got
to
that
the
promotion. There's the Republic of Tea or whatever has like a Paddington marmalade
Hi, Rob.
flavor tea,
Oh,
and there's also like a marmalade jam or marmalade
marmalade.
that I keep seeing ads for.
SD. Freddie Fro says it was an early showing, and SD says everyone's trying to buy eggs at Costco. That's correct. I know some Costco's are like, we're selling eggs.
Did you hear about the
until
egg
11 in the
heist?
morning, and then it's over? Yes, I did hear about that.
My gosh, what is happening?
That's the world we live in.
This darn avian flu, Evian. It's the
Evian
water.
flu,
It's
yes,
the water.
Evian
It's the
flu.
problem.
Yeah, that's what they were drinking, that water, and that's what gets them. Yeah. Well,
French mountain
I feel
water.
terrible that this is happening. I apologize. It looks like in the app there's nothing I can do to delete the version.
What
that
is it?
the
Just
wrong
like, is the
version.
clock still going? Saying that like it's waiting?
It just never starts. Yeah, I mean, that's why I canceled it. I closed it out.
My goodness.
I'd have to go into the back end on my laptop, and I don't want. Well, oh no, I can't.
You want to just start over? You want to just cut the whole thing and just start over?
No. Why would I want to do that? This one's working fine.
Because there's like you said there's people waiting, and like you're just, I don't know, you seem upset about it. So
I feel bad that there's people who are like waiting for the show to start, and they're in an alternate universe where the show's never going to start, and there's one going on right here. But
I mean, at some point they'll refresh, and will refreshing help?
refreshing won't do anything. It'll just say, if anything, it'll say nothing's going on, or it'll go still waiting.
But then they go to the website and they'll click in.
If that happens, then yes, they'll do that. Radical Defect says, we love YouTube. Hi, Tony De La Mancha. And SC says waiting. I was going to say I could go on my
Oh,
desktop.
Dre Gamer says, can you rename the other one?
I can't on the unless I have the YouTube Studio app on my phone. I can't do anything. Videos, shorts, live, but that only is live that I've already done. I doubt I can do anything from the regular YouTube app because that's not how it works. Your videos.
Yeah,
Nope.
I wish I had something more to talk about. I haven't watched Spider-Man.
No, I can't do anything.
I haven't watched any. I'm watching Severance, but we can't talk about that.
I apologize if you find it to the right episode. Thank you. And obviously for audio listeners, which are the bulk of the audience, they won't. None of this matters. So I guess we'll just have to push on. I again apologize, but I was like, we got to.
But hey, on
we're
the
gonna
plus
make things
side,
move quickly.
we started early and now we're still behind, so that's
Yes,
great.
Exactly. What do we got here? Let's do this. MomBrain.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, there is a little something to talk about.
Oh boy.
It's very lucky that we're here, guys. It's very lucky. Cause I hate to say it, but
if your parents never met, yeah.
MomBrain tried to burn the house down last weekend.
Oh dear.
And you know what? I'll let her tell the story, and then I'll chime in with some bits of my own.
Last Saturday, it was Imbolc, which is the halfway point between winter and spring.
Spell that for everybody.
IMBOLC.
There you go. That's
It's a
what MomBrain's saying.
cross-border holiday.
She said it to me so many times, and I had no clue what she was saying.
No, that's why you went to Costco twice, because you
Buying
were
bulk.
buying in bulk.
That's correct.
It's in bulk. I'll go Costco.
So, I had made a candle with some herbs and left it. It was just a little candle, and
It was like it really was
was a
like
tea
as
light.
big as this container. If anybody's watching,
not
there you
even.
go.
It was
You
half
made
that
it
size.
with wax and stuff?
Yeah, like just a little, So I thought,
Tiny.
like, I didn't even think about it, and I went to bed, and then Raw Meat Cowboy had an experience.
Oh, you're giving it to me already?
Yeah.
Okay. So I knew
Oh,
she
shit.
lit something and put it on the mantle, and I'm always like, I ask stupid questions and she gets annoyed. So I was like, I guess she knows what she's doing. I'm just gonna like leave this and I'll go to sleep. I was like, I don't like open flames at night, but I don't know, she's casting a spell or something. I don't know what she's doing. So I went to sleep, and then I woke up, because I smelled burning. That's what I think woke me up. I don't know for sure, but I woke up and I was like, what is burning? And I looked up at the mantle, and it was this little thing. And the flames that were shooting out of this were almost
the
touching
herbs or
the
something?
ceiling. It was like,
Oh, like
And I was
fireworks, kind of?
no, like just a big flame. Oh, like dancing,
Like literally
huge.
like 3-foot flames.
Literally almost to the ceiling. And I was like, what the hell? Really?
How many herbs did you put in this
Really?
thing?
You're gonna look at him and
maybe a tablespoon.
you're gonna
Of
look
herbs,
at
like
him
what
and
herbs?
Lavender, chamomile, and rosemary.
Whatever.
I didn't know.
Haha, funny stuff. I'm deeply offended that you give him eyes like that
I mean,
when you know what happened, and I'm telling you that's what happened too.
All
And
right.
you're
I mean,
like,
even if
"I
it
don't
wasn't
know."
3 foot tall,
yeah, I mean, I'm not
you
saying
know.
it was like not an emergency. I'm just
It was
is
like
your-
it was like
is
little.
the blueprint okay?
It was like big flames coming up. It was like
What else is up there?
like halfway up
Everything's
the painting.
okay.
Comanche's up there.
Oh, my gosh.
Listen,
Well, his ashes aren't.
so the
Just-
flames were going like halfway up the painting,
You're lucky he didn't just.
and then there were big
Right.
flames that would be like
Yeah.
up to this, almost up
Okay,
to the ceiling.
okay.
So I'm like,
Like flashes of flames, or like.
again, I keep doing the noise and you won't listen to me. This is exactly what
Well,
it was
you're
like.
going like.
No, listen to my noise. That's
They were,
exactly what it was like.
crackling,
So each one of those is a flame burst.
All right. Well, I mean, during in bulk, the
You know what? I don't even
traditional.
want to tell this story anymore because I seem like the crazy person. And I'm
No,
like,
no,
no.
here's what happened. And you look at him like this guy.
The traditional like thing of in bulk. I don't know anything about it, but this is what I know about it.
I don't know anything about it.
Is
This
you
is what I know
you
about it.
usually you start fresh, so you want to just like completely just
Burn it down.
turn everything to cinder and rebuild anew, right? Is that no? I don't think.
I mean, it's the start of like spring, right? It's like the beginning of like fertility and just, like fresh, new.
But you're supposed to burn that overnight, to like.
No, I mean, I had just
You just
burnt them. Well, we had people at the house,
how many?
so like I was
build. How many of these candles did you build?
just one.
Oh.
So anyway,
Is it really anyway, or
look again? I don't deny that like it was a flame for sure. I mean,
sounds like you do?
no, I don't.
So anyway, this is happening, and my first thought was like, I don't want MomBrain to be mad at me for putting this thing out because I'm like, she's gonna get up in the morning and be like, my spell's broken or something. I
Did
don't
you
know
wake
what
her
she's
up?
doing. No, I didn't wake her up because, of course, I would never do that anymore. So now I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna make a game time decision to decide that the house burning down is worse than MomBrain being mad about me breaking a spell. So the flames are shooting up and down. And I go grab this tiny thing and I take it by the bottom because I'm
It's like a votive holder
where it's going to be coolest. This all happened in like 3 seconds. It felt like it was melting my hand. And I was like, oh, what am I going to, like, I couldn't put it down anywhere because I'm like, I need to put out this flame.
That's what I'm imagining from Dre Gamer.
Let me go into
like launching fireworks over a lake, a giant Roman candle.
So I blow the thing out, and it takes a couple blows to get it to go out, but it goes out, and then I put it down on the back of the chair in front of me because I needed to put it down right away because it was burning my finger. So everything's taken care of. It's fine. I have never felt such pain in my life. I was like, I thought I was going to wake MomBrain up because I was whimpering. I was like, and I was like on my phone with my other hand looking up like how to treat a burn.
Milk.
And it was like, if you
You
have
don't put it
this
in
and
water,
then
right?
wrapping this, and I went to go see what
Let's see them now. Let's see the fingies.
we went to go see, or I went to go see what we had, and thankfully we had, what's that stuff I squeezed on there? It was specifically for burns. So I put that on there, and it said how to wrap it, and then wrap it on top of that. So I did all that. So I had like what did I use? Like athletic tape. So I put like bandages, but then I put athletic tape on top of that to close it up. And I'm laying there like, this all takes like 20 minutes. I'm laying there on the couch. I'm like, this feels so bad right now. It's like, I'm really worried. I'm going to have to go to the hospital or something, but it hurt so bad that I couldn't even fall asleep. I was like, this is terrible. Eventually I did fall asleep. Got up in the morning and MomBrain was like, what's going on with your fingers? I explained, well, whatever. But
no, I came down and you were like, can you go to CVS or something today? And I was like, what? I thought you were asleep. And you were like, burn my fingers. I was like, okay.
There's something, I don't know if when was this? This was before
Saturday
it snowed.
into Sunday.
Yeah. Because you could I've learned from Home Alone, if you get covered in flames, you just dive right into the snow.
That's what I should have done. Yeah.
Well, but there was no snow at that time.
That's true. So anyway, I wrapped that, and then we rewrapped it later with like real stuff and everything. And
did MomBrain kiss your boo boos?
What'd you
Oh my gosh, it's not gonna heal.
What's that like wet crap that you bought?
Allocaine. So it was like aloe with lidocaine.
We put those. So I kept it wrapped for like the first.
And then those finger condoms, because I was like, you don't want
There you
stuff
go.
to get.
Oh, those are for your fingers.
There you
Okay,
go.
I thought those were.
So for like 72 hours. The first 72 hours, the only time I uncovered them was when I was wrapping them with something new. And then I went to just Band-Aids, and then just yesterday I went to nothing. And I really think I saved my ass the first night. Like if I feel my fingers, I can feel obviously where things are burned, but they don't. I mean, if I move it in a certain way, you can see that.
Did you ever get a blister?
No.
Because even putting the Aquaphor stuff on, I would still think
I didn't.
You'd still get a blister
really
if it was
how we took care of it in the beginning. It really helped because yeah, they definitely feel wrong. If I rub them together, they feel wrong.
You
They
like don't have fingerprints anymore.
Yeah, that's that's what it feels like. They're not.
now's the time to
they
do
don't
a
hurt or
crime.
anything. They hurt obviously back then, but it feels. Other than touching them together, it feels fine.
Oh man! Of all the things to damage,
Right.
for somebody who runs a website all day long typing.
Well, that's the thing. So thankfully, it happened on Sunday, and Sunday I had giant wrapped fingers, but there's not a lot of work to do, so I was okay. It took longer than usual. I put out a message on social media saying like, "I'm sorry, I'm going to be slower than usual because I burned my fingers." Then the next day.
You could have brought lube over. He'd work a little bit quicker.
I started
hunting and
typing
pecking
like usual,
We
with
speak in
bandaged
English.
fingers, and it just wasn't working. And I was like, "Oh, what am I gonna do?" And I wrapped them up in like multiple band-aids, and it was okay, but it was a pain in the ass. And then the next day, I went to just a couple band-aids, and I was.
Did you fingertip
okay.
band-aids?
No. But yes. So spell's broken. I'm sorry, MomBrain. Whatever the spell
There was no
it's
spell.
broken.
Did you burn the rest of the candle?
That's what it was like, Roth, and that's
Where
the 2
did you
fingers
put it
it
to burn
was.
the
My
rest?
No,
thumb.
it was done. Like it was burnt out.
Oh, so that was part of it. It was like at the end, and like it
The
was.
herb, yeah, like all the herbs were left, and that's what caught fire.
Gotcha.
Roth, that is the perfect gift. That's exactly what it looked like. It was my thumb and my index finger. That's correct. And I was like, MomBrain, my Fortnite fingers, my trigger finger, and my aim finger.
Mhm.
Did it stop me from playing Fortnite? No, it did not. I played with all bandages and everything. Oh my God, Fortnite just sent out a tweet right now.
We rearranged the living room.
Hoping your fingers.
Hi,
feel better.
Marsborough. Rearranged the living room with my fingers. Hi, Marsborough. Good to see you. Which was a pain in the ass because I had the gauze things on, and the furniture in the living room. Some of it has Velcro on it, so like kept catching my little gauze thing and ripping it off. But oh, that's good too, SD. So we are here, despite MomBrain's efforts to burn the house down. We are here and we are live.
I have a question.
mm.
Did you've never watched the original Fantastic Four?
I have never seen any of the Fantastic Four movies.
Because there's in one of the ones with Chris
I've heard
Evans.
the title is half true.
What are you talking about?
I've heard the title is half true.
Oh, it's just 4.
Yes.
It's also not. It's the first one, right? So it's
Fantastic One.
No, but I think it's the sequel to the original. Not original Fantastic Four, but the one with Michael Chiklis and Jessica Alba.
Thank you.
Something happens where, like, when they touch each other, they transfer their powers to each other, and so when the commish is Thing, is it Thing or the Thing?
I believe it's the Thing, but I could
when
be
he's
wrong.
When he's the Rock Man, his voice is like really deep and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But when Chris Evans touches him and becomes the Rock person, it's still just the Chris Evans voice. It's not changed. And then when he changes back, his voice is deep again. It's like, I don't understand this.
So you're saying I should watch it? It just sounds pretty good.
Flawless. Airtight is what I would say.
All right, MomBrain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
for $1?
For $1, it's true. Here's what we talked about on Patreon this week. I asked you people if you record your gameplay, because that's obviously big nowadays, recording gameplay and putting out YouTube videos or streaming or just recording to save moments that you want to keep for things you enjoyed in games, or, multiplayer games where you did something that you're really proud of or stuff like that. So I was seeing how many of you do that just for whatever reason. So we talked about that. Also talked about DS puzzle games and how I really miss that era of gaming. I really miss like opening up the DS and sitting down to play like Zookeeper or Polarium or Magnetica or Crosswords DS or Picross DS, any of those. Just I miss that era a lot. There was just something to it, because if you remember the beginning of the DS era, we were not in the iPhone era yet. We had like a good 3 years until we got the iPhone. So playing games on a touchscreen was a very novel idea. And even throughout, the bulk of the DS's lifespan, iPhones weren't about gaming really. So the DS was the place to do that kind of stuff. And I really miss that era. And I'm feeling very nostalgic for it.
Initially, yeah, you didn't have an iPhone, right? You had just an iPod Touch for gaming.
No, he had an iPhone without a cell plan.
Yes.
Oh, is that what
is
it was?
correct.
Or like
I
a
had
real
an
basic cell
iPod
plan.
because I wanted an iPod, but then when I found out games were going to be on the iPhone, I literally went to the mall to get an iPhone without or whatever. Yeah, it was whatever the crappiest plan was
Like a
that you could get because I was like,
T-Mobile,
I just
yeah.
want to play games. So,
I think I probably still have that phone number somewhere.
and I believe I still have that phone here in some bag.
Oh, you
or
guys can
something.
talk to each other.
So I talked
Do
about
you
that.
Use that phone to call MomBrain next time there's a fire.
Depends if it's nighttime, it's not happening. And then the next day it led me to write about stylus play, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I just really miss being able to play games with a stylus. Hello, Malik Halo. Like I really miss that capacitive or is that what it is? What's the two types of touch screens?
I think capacitive is what
we have
what
now.
we have with these. Yeah.
What is it? Whatever the old ones were. Those touch screens and using a stylus and just I really like
I mean, you can use a
stylus
stylus
on
on
a game.
these, right?
I know, yeah. But like there's
Tony De La Mancha says resistive.
resistive, that's it. Thank you.
For the record, I just got an ad for a knockoff screw pin game playing
There you go.
screw pin.
Wow.
So yeah, I just like I really like that era of playing games with a stylus. And nowadays there are games you can play with a stylus, and obviously on a mobile phone you can use a stylus to play, but like that's an extra thing that you have to add in. Whereas on a DS, and the 3DS, the stylus was built in there, it was always with it, and a lot of games were made to be played with a stylus. Now you would just be playing games with a stylus in place of your finger. It's not exactly the same. I really miss that.
Just can't beat a good fingering.
That touching of the no, I'm against fingering. I like the
Clearly.
stylus, the touch screen. I just missed that.
I mean, but we
era.
also
There's
talked
something
about a
to it.
couple of weeks ago. They had like the Garage Band or Guitar Hero peripheral for it and stuff like that. Like it went extra steps to make things like that work. Which then just made me think right now about if Activision didn't kill what did Activision have Garage or Guitar Hero or
Yes, they still have it.
And then who had Rock Band?
Well, Harmonix did it, but EA published.
Maybe. Well, I think Activision was definitely the one that like ran it into the ground within like 2 years, right?
Yes.
If they didn't do that, we'd still have something like that, I feel like, and it would
we have
still
it
be
now,
like
but it's in
fun.
Fortnite. Like all the old Harmonix people are at Fortnite making Fortnite Festival, which is exactly the same thing as Rock Band. It's just you play it through Fortnite. It's exactly the same. So it still exists, but I think probably better that they do it as a live service and just constantly add music in that way rather than yearly installments or not bi-yearly. Activision, when they were like really doing Guitar Hero, they were putting out like multiple Guitar Hero games a year because there'd be like Guitar Hero 3, Guitar Hero 4, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero.
I mean,
I
know there's
Guitar
licensing
Hero,
that goes into it, but like if they
stuff.
could just do like an album, like but whatever.
So yeah, that that era had a lot of wonky, interesting,
Did
unique
any other
things
games
on the
use
DS.
that?
No, it's just Guitar Hero.
It would be a wild way to do
right. See, that's tough because
it would
you'd
be like
want to
that.
make a game that could be played with the DS on its own, but if it could have some sort of functionality with that too as a bonus, that would be cool. Yeah, but nobody's going to build a game for the DS for that accessory specifically unless they had sales data on that accessory and they're like 50 million people bought this thing, so let's make something.
Unless you had who's the person that did the that bicycle game?
Gonna need
or
more.
the QWERTY game where you did different.
Yes, QWOP.
Is that what it was called?
I don't know.
Well, what's
WAP?
What's the game? Like the guy that did the game where you use a sledgehammer to climb the mountain.
The guy in the pot.
Foddy's Getting Over It.
Bennett Foddy.
Yes.
And they did the
I think they did
the
QWOP.
bicycle one where you would pedal and it was like didn't we?
I don't remember the
jokes
bicycle
over that
one.
Yeah, I feel like I remember a bicycle
Dad
one.
bike or stat bike.
Oh no, they're not involved with that at all.
Oh, bike dad.
That's no, that's My leg.
Yeah.
My legs. Hi,
Oh, really?
Blunders. Good to see you. What the hell is the name of that game? Yeah.
Bennett Foddy. Is that the person's name?
Well, it's called Bennett Foddy's Getting Over It. So I
But
would
is that the
imagine
guy?
that's-
Is it the person that made it, or is it the guy that's in the cauldron?
As I have already told you, I do not know. I believe it would
You
be
used
the
to.
developer. No, I believe Bennett Foddy is the developer. If you put a fire to my fingers, I'll say Bennett Foddy is the developer.
Okay.
But what is the name of that bike game? You guys know.
Happy Wheels?
Happy Wheels. That
that
sounds
sounds
correct. Yes. Radical
That came out of my head.
Radical. Okay. Radical Defect says
We
Bennett
got there.
Foddy is the guy who made it. So there you go. Everything answered and accounted for. I know. Hard life lesson for me, Marsboro. No, don't burn your Fortnite fingers. Very important. So I talked about stylus play and all that. I also talked about Common Side Effects, the new animated program on Adult Swim, or next day on Max if you have Max.
What's his name? Mike Judge, right?
Mike Judge
Bennett
is a voice on the show. I don't know how much he's involved with creation. I would imagine if
I
he's
thought he
involved
was one of the
you know, if you're going to have Mike Judge on a show, I'd imagine you'd want his creative input because the man's had success after success. So, but it's made by some of the people who did Scavenger's Reign as well. It is a show about this guy who's out somewhere, I don't remember, who he's like very knowledgeable about plants and their medicinal purposes. And there's always been this like Goldilocks mushroom that's supposedly out there that can cure everything. And he finds it and he wants it to become a thing where everybody can use it. And, you know, everybody's healthy and doesn't have to worry about so many ailments. You know, it cures practically everything and almost instantly. But not surprisingly, Big Pharma knows that this thing exists and they've been trying to stomp it out. But they didn't know that, you know, the pocket of the land where this guy found it. So now this guy has so many of them and he's going to try and do something with it. And Big Pharma knows that he has them. So now Big Pharma's out to try and take him out, to kill him. And he is aware that they're trying to do that. And that's what the show is about.
He has a friend.
He has a friend. He has a turtle friend, yes, that he found when he was out looking for these mushrooms. It's just a regular, like, big turtle. I forget what it is, but he carries it around with him and talks to it all the time. So the show is serious and dark and drama and funny and weird. It's such an amalgamation of ideas. And if anybody told you one show would have all these things, you'd be like, this is going to be a mess. And then they'd be like, plus it's 22-minute episodes. And you'd be like, there's no way this is going to work. It is so expertly done, at least in the first 2 episodes. It's unbelievable. The way that this show is put together is mind-boggling to me, that it works in the way that it does. It's not like crazy laugh out loud funny, but it is funny. But it's also really dark and really serious and really tied to real life stuff, obviously, too. There's so much going on in the show, but holy crap, is it really enjoyable so far. I have a feeling it's going to go under the radar. It's one of those shows where it seems like everybody that's watching it is blown away by it, but not a lot of people know of it, which is a real shame, which is what happened with Scavenger's Reign. People that watched it loved it. Not a lot of people knew about it, and now we're not getting a second season. So please go watch Common Side Effects if it sounds of any interest to you. It is really a wild ride so far.
What's the rating, though?
On what scale?
What's the TV rating? TVMA?
Oh, it's got to be
Gotta
MA.
be.
Yeah, that's
All right. So just warning, heads up.
Spud.
TVMA.
Oh, why? Because it's a cartoon? I said it was Adult Swim. So
I mean, if you're going to tell people go watch it, I just want people to know that it's, you know, might be inappropriate for some people. I don't know.
Okay, well, I mean, Jesus, if that's the rule, then I got to say that about everything we talk about.
I think,
Everything's got a rating.
Yeah, like when you mentioned that other movie that one time, I was like, oh, I don't think you should just mention that willy-nilly. There's got to be a disclosure.
Guy, all right, from now on,
Disclaimer,
blanket
sorry.
disclosure for GoNintendo Podcast in perpetuity forever. Whenever I recommend a game, a TV show, a movie, a piece of music, please check the rating before you engage with it, because perhaps it will be something that's not appropriate for your age or someone in your family. There you go. There's your blanket warning for
Great job.
the rest of the podcast. Like, I also talked about Fantastic Four First Steps, because the first real trailer is out. No commish, unfortunately.
But
I mean, we knew he was going to be in it. Go ahead. You
I'm
want to talk
excited.
about it so much?
Oh, what's his name?
Pedro
Richie.
Pascal.
Oh,
She's a big fan.
what's
Big fan.
yeah, Richie. What's his name from?
Yeah, the bear guy. I don't remember his name either, but he's such a good actor in The Bear, and I have it seems from the few clips that you hear him in this, it
I
seems
mean,
like
it's
he's
just
going to
like-
be a very good voice
And that
actor.
was the thing that kind of threw me off. Is again now you have like big rock figure, and his voice is the same, and it's like, oh, okay, He also looks soft in that outfit, right?
I would say that thought did not pop into my head. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I mean, he's
just
made of
not-
rock, but like because of the clothes that he has, you look like, oh, give him a squeeze.
He does look cuddly, sure. Yes, a cuddly rock guy. But yeah, I'm an MCU fan. I'm a Marvel fan. I am not a fan to the degree where I'll be like, everything is great and I love all of it, despite what people say. As I've said in the past, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, I would give it 2 out of 10. I really don't like that thing. I might actually dislike Secret Invasion more than that, but they're neck and neck. I do not like those two at all, and it very much disappoints me. But everything else in the MCU, I do greatly enjoy, and I'm very much looking forward to Fantastic Four First Steps. It looks like a reboot for the MCU in terms of tone and vibe and approach and lots of stuff. We need to see more, obviously, but they're hedging their bets on this one in a big way because they know Fantastic Four has found box office success before outside of the MCU. They know the brand has name recognition and it has not been part of the MCU, so time to introduce it. And I think it could be big. I saw people on TikTok, a podcast debating whether Superman or Fantastic Four is going to make more money, and I honestly don't know. I don't know
What's
which
the
one will be
third one?
bigger.
There's a third big budgets. Like, is it a hero
Superhero
movie?
movie?
Is it a hero movie?
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a third.
Oh no,
you're
no,
coming up
Jurassic
with.
Park was the third one. It was like 3
Oh.
big blockbusters
We're
that
talking-
just released trailers this week.
Yes, the Jurassic Park trailer. I
Or
didn't
not
even
this
watch
week,
it because
but,
I don't care at all. Like,
yeah,
I'm
but
so
I
out.
mean, talking about heartthrobs, we got Jonathan Bailey in that. I mean, we've got some
Scarlett
nice.
Johansson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so out. Like, if anybody was like, let's go to the theater to see Jurassic Park, I'll go with you to see it, sure. But like, we saw that first of the new reboots or whatever,
that
and
with Due for his birthday?
yes, I really disliked that movie, so I've been out. And I've only heard from you guys how
They've just
silly, stupid ones after that were, which is fine. They can be that, but and again, I'm not like I'll never watch that, but nobody's
I
ever
have
like
to-
you got to see these movies.
But I have to like admit, watching the trailer, I was like, I want to watch it. I want to see how far-fetched and absurd they go with this, because like they're kind of coming back on it a little bit.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You watch a trailer. If you're interested, then you go see the movie, or you.
And I
rent it at
think
home.
Chris Pratt is the voice of a T-Rex in this one.
Well, all right. Well, now I'm. He can do it all. Every Marvel
Like
movie.
the T-Rex.
He can do Garfield.
He's got
he
a
can do
T-Rex and a
Mario,
little
he can-
cappy. and he's
Oh,
the
I
voice-
get it.
yeah.
All right, all right. Oh, boy, really foreshadowing in that first trailer for Odyssey. Nintendo was all over that. Start talking about Fantastic Four. Like I said, MCU fan. I got my tickets to Captain America. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like
When is that?
Valentine's Day. I'm like really, really excited for Captain America.
So you're
like,
going to
uber
Captain
excited.
America over Paddington.
I know.
I will 100%
Wow.
go to.
Oh, knowing that like they've reshot Captain America multiple times, right? Like they spent twice as
Listen
long
to me.
reshooting it.
I do not care how many times they redo anything. I am a fan of the MCU. Unless you show me an actor that I am against from a moral perspective, I am going to be incredibly excited. Now, I will say this on top of this, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the TV show, I think was incredibly important,
I agree.
not from an MCU perspective, but from a people message perspective. And I think a lot of what some people said was disgusting about that show. I am not talking about people who didn't like the show in general. Got no issues with that. I'm talking about the message that came out with that show and how some people reacted. I feel is absolutely disgusting. And we're seeing that again with this movie to a worse degree because of the times we're living in.
Why
I think outside of my interest of seeing the movie, which is extremely high and has been, I think it's important to show that I want to be at that movie and on day one
Yes.
for the messages it is trying to say. I don't know all the messages because I have to see the movie, but there's certainly things that it is trying to do and say that I feel are very important. So day one, I want to be there. Now,
Day one.
I love Paddington. Any other time, I'd be like 50-50 shot. I
So
said to
you won't
MomBrain back
go
me up.
see both of them the same day?
I was just about to say, MomBrain backed me up. I said, MomBrain, let's do a double feature. And her reaction was, so I said, all right, we won't do a double feature. But I did float that multiple times, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. But now we are doing a Valentine's Day double date with friends who are also interested in, well, one of them is interested in Marvel. So
I heard in the new Paddington, he gets like a shield and
Colonel, please
wings.
draw this. Colonel, I may legit cry if you draw Paddington as Captain America or with Captain America.
But like,
I think I would legit cry.
But the other thing, like, what if Paddington is like Red Hulk or something? That would also
Marmalade Hulk.
Marmalade
If-
Hulk.
Orange
Colonel, I'm not telling you what to do. Draw whatever you want. But if you draw like a serious, like sentimental Captain America and Paddington picture, I really do think I would tear up. I was watching the trailer for Captain America last night as I was watching another show, and it's just like a 30-second spot, and I was like tearing up watching it because there's lines that are said in the trailer where I'm like, yes, this is so important. But I really and Colonel, if you do draw anything like that, again, no pressure at all. If I do tear up, I will certainly let you know, and I'll try and get photo evidence of it. What did I just watch where I teared up?
That commercial where the guy gets his diploma.
Have you ever like that? Listen,
I haven't gotten my email yet that my diploma's in the mail, but when it gets here, if you don't cry, I will be so farting offended.
and Juan Jimenez, and I graduated. Man, that guy every time.
What
in
is
your
it? What is it
defense,
for?
It's like DeVry or some
Well, I mean,
crap.
he did like night school or whatever.
I'm not
but-
saying I'm not knocking the school, but it's like he's crying, talking about how he did it because he
Yeah.
didn't think he could do it, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no,
This
I
is
agree.
great.
It gets me too.
Well, Jesus, we were watching. MomBrain and I have started.
So he might not cry if you didn't get your degree from DeVry.
That's right.
That's the key point.
Okay.
Big DeVry fan.
I mean, DeVry. I cry for DeVry.
That's right.
I think that's what their shirts all say.
When
They're cheerleaders. I cry for DeVry.
C-R-Y. Do you wanna cry? DeVry. Let's cry.
I cried a few times while I was earning my degree.
What was I watching where I cried the other day? Doesn't matter. But MomBrain and I were this. I remember one of them, but we they do Prices Right at night lately, and I love a Prices Right at night. And somebody won. I don't even remember what game it was, but they won it. And MomBrain was like, "Oh, they did a really good job on that game."
Looks over
and
at you.
We were sitting like right next to each other, and I was like, "I need a moment. I can't talk about it. I'm just really happy." Like I was, Price is Right gets me to cry all the time, as I've said. But like, if you're somebody that's like $1 bid over somebody else, forget it. You're dead to me. Or somebody else. If you at least put $100 in between, I can root for you. But lately, I'm like, I think I said it to MomBrain as we were watching. I was like, this is the state of the world. Everybody's $1 over everybody else. This is where we
Has
live.
there ever been a situation where someone was like $450, $451, $452, $453? Really?
It happens all the time.
Like they
yes.
just one up all the.
Yes, it
Oh
happens
my-
all the time. But you know what
That should
else is?
be- Come on.
You know what else has been a trend, which is really
It's
weird.
a way to play the game, I guess.
You'll have like, that's the thing. Is it a way to play the game? Yes. Is it a valid way to play the game? Yes. I would never say you're wrong. I just think you're a terrible person. But there's something else I pointed out to MomBrain that I've noticed that doesn't make any sense to me. Somebody will be like $600, and somebody will be like $700, and then somebody will go $685, and I'm like, what? What are you're giving yourself $15 to work with? Do you really think the price is in there? And I'm like, if they don't think that, then I don't understand what they're doing. But multiple people are doing it, and you can tell by the rest of the way their bids. They just don't know what's going on. Like I don't understand what they think they're. I don't understand what.
I mean, they're also in front of cameras, and it's like a mental thing of being like, I'm on The Price is Right.
Yes.
This is crazy. And
I'll
so
say
like,
there's part of that.
I mean, I'm
You know
sitting
what
here
else I'll
talking
say?
to
There's-
you, and I
Someone
don't hear every
introduces
single thing.
themselves
You know what
to
else I'll
you,
say
you don't
there's
remember
part
their
of?
name, it's like
There's part of these people don't watch or know The Price is Right, and it is very
There
obvious
might
when they
be
get up there.
an element
'cause
of that, but like even
they don't know how many times to spin the wheel.
we
They
sit
don't
here
know
and we
what they're
talk to
doing.
each other across from a table, and I miss half of what you say just because I'm trying to focus on what you're saying so
Mhm.
hard that like I'm missing it. So you're saying numbers. I mean, you do it all the time. You say numbers, and I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not unwilling to give people on The Price is Right the benefit of the doubt.
And then there's
of stage
probably some
fright and
people-
being overwhelmed, but I do think there are people who legit don't know and they're just going with friends because they're like, hey, we're gonna try and get on The
Yeah.
Price is Right, and that's fine.
I mean, The Price is
That's
Right is a
fine.
household name, right? Like
Yes,
everybody
but
knows it, but
everybody
not
knows
everybody
who actually-
watches it as much as you do.
There's plenty of people who
Like,
you know,
like
everybody
it's
has
on in the
heard
middle
of
of the
it.
day. Like people,
Price is Right at night. I
you
don't want to
know?
hear excuses, and you can record anything.
what time?
8:00. Times on TV shows don't matter anymore.
No, they got to watch Sean
You can
Hannity
record-
at 8 o'clock.
you can record and watch whenever you want. But times for TV shows don't matter at all anymore.
But The Price
You
is
heard it
Right
here
for the
first,
majority
people.
of people. It's a thing that's like when it's on, you'll
No
watch
one's
it. They're not
recording
recording it. They're also not home during the day to watch it.
I
At
don't want to
night,
hear that. I don't want to hear that. That's not a valid excuse anymore. You can watch something whenever you want. You can. Everything
yeah, but
is
the
on
thing
demand.
is people like people would watch it if it's on. They're not going to search for it. You know what I mean?
I agree that people are doing that, but
Also,
I'm saying
there's a
that
lot of these
doesn't make
people are
an
probably
excuse
standing in
valid.
the front row looking up at Drew Carey and thinking, I wonder what he's tripping
How
on
high
right
is
now.
it? Yeah.
Like, what dimension is he in?
Moving on. Also talked about grinding in RPGs because, as you know, I'm playing Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, which I'll talk more about later today. I came to a part in the game where I was struggling, and I just had to grind out some levels, and I hate that. Hi, Darmani, good to see you. I hate that. Hi, 10 Division in RPGs. Hate's a very strong word. I really don't like it. Like I don't. Just grinding drives me nuts. I don't like it. But I was like, I bet if I just did some grinding and got up a few levels, it'd work out. And that's exactly what happened. But I prefer when an RPG naturally, like, I fight every enemy I come across in an RPG. Like, there's no one I skip. If they're in my way, I get them. If I get a random battle, I go through it. Like, because I'm afraid of getting to a point where I am severely underleveled and I need to grind because I don't want to do that. So if I'm playing that way and I'm doing all side quests and I still have to grind, I'm like, but it worked out. So I talked about grinding and how people feel in RPGs, and there was a
Doesn't
good
make-
discussion about that.
Makes it like homework. Like you have
Yeah,
to
that's how I feel. Very
busy
good
work.
explanation. And then finally, I talked about Mario Paint 2, which is not a thing, but I think it should have been a thing a long time ago. And now with Switch 2 and its rumored mouse controls, which we will talk about in great detail later, Nintendo has to do it. Now is the time. They missed the boat on the DS and the 3DS and the Wii U, and to a lesser extent the Switch. But now, if the Switch 2 mouse thing is real, which it is, but not officially announced by Nintendo, now is the time for Mario Paint 2, without a doubt. And that's why I talked about it on Patreon. All right, let's talk about our new segment on the show, which we've been calling Masturbators, and I've been talking about doing a different name.
GoNintendo Podcast.
New segment.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
New segment. Cool.
Is this coming to Switch? No. So, NicoDarunia sent me an email, and they said if you want a safe name for the new segment, then go with Bait and Switch. Now, they're not all Switch or Nintendo related, but that is a great name. So it will be considered. And it's funny, NicoDarunia, because last night as I was going to sleep, I was trying to think of other names I
Did
could
I say
use.
that the other a couple weeks ago? I don't know if I did.
I don't remember anything that happens
It's
during
been
the
on
show.
my mind, but I mean,
You're
masturbators
always on
works
my
just because
mind.
they're so good at it.
I was trying to think of different names last night because I was like, it would be fun to get random guests to come in and play this game with us. And Kit and Krista would be the first on the top of my list, and I know they would do it. So I would like to do that at some point. And we can go with the masturbators name when it's just us, but when it's not, we got to go with something more friendly.
And it's also like we're getting close to the Switch 2, so then it would become Bait and Switch 2.
Two masturbators.
Um,
So MomBrain and Nicky Hill, here we go. Not as many as last week, but still a healthy amount.
We should get music for the background of this. Be fun.
You could play a little something that we got there right now.
Like Spanish
Flea?
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
I don't know if
do you
that's
have the clearance for that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have.
For now, let's just do Happy Birthday, Josh.
Okay, but you gotta make it quieter than that. You can hold your finger on the thing and turn it down.
I'd click
Great,
on all
there you
this.
go. Okay, GTA 6 on Nintendo Switch 2. Everything we know so far.
Everything we know so far, you can play it on the Switch too.
Okay.
It's probably everything about GTA 6 that they know, but also that it's not announced for the Switch yet.
Okay, and Nicky Hill, you're pretty much correct. Everything we know so far is, we know about GTA 6. As far as it on Switch 2, we don't know anything. Nothing. Literally nothing.
Was there facts about the Switch 2?
You know what? Let me go click on the article and double check.
Oh, no, now they're getting that click.
I mean, they already got it once for me. Here you go. One of the subtitles in the article is, does the Switch 2 have enough power to run GTA 6? We don't have any idea.
Right. Oh, was that their answer?
No, they got a whole bunch
It's
of
too
paragraphs.
chaotic. I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
And then
no.
was the first article or paragraph in that segment? The Switch 2 is the upcoming
no,
Nintendo.
It was, the first paragraph was about GTA 6, and then they went into that.
Okay, they do like a whole history of the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo as a company.
No, that one doesn't do it either.
I'll find you a song. Okay, we'll talk about Vibe, and we'll get to the song.
Okay.
Are you gonna keep doing this? If you're gonna keep doing it,
I don't know. Let's wait and find out.
All right. Well, you got to turn the music down.
Is there we need the fishing music from. Is there fishing music from like Legend of Zelda?
Yes, there is.
Then that's what we should do because that's their right. They're
fishing.
baiting.
They're baiting.
correct.
Right. That is correct. Okay. Here you go, guys. Parasite Eve and Chrono Trigger director makes surprise appearance on Japanese national television, and it's not about games.
What?
He was in the background at an event.
That's really good. Parasite
Yeah.
Eve and Chrono Trigger director makes surprise appearance on Japanese national TV, and it's not about games.
Is he a new diet guru or something?
Oh, that's also good. I appreciate what you guys did here because I find this one to be the grossest clickbait of the week. This is about
Is it a commercial? Like what?
him appearing in like a public service announcement for like disaster preparedness.
That is stupid.
And I'm like, to clickbait that is so gross.
Yeah.
That's foul. Like, you don't clickbait something like that. You can say Parasite Eve and Chrono Trigger director appears in public service announcement or whatever. That's fine. But to clickbait, it's not about games. Oh, it's about helping people and giving them life-saving information. Like, don't clickbait that. That's weird. That's gross.
That's like
That is stupid.
saying like years after being on. Now I totally blanked on the show that he was on. Alan Thicke is back on TV, and it's because of those Optima. What is it? The debt relief things.
Yeah.
Which really breaks my heart that like celebrities as they get older they're like give me the money and I'll tell these people to sign up for this kind of scam or whatever.
Nintendo quietly teases first 3 Switch 2 launch games, and they all bang. I think they mean they're all bangers, but whatever. Nintendo quietly teases first 3 Switch 2 launch
Tell
games.
me you're a boomer without telling
and
me
they
you're
all
a boomer.
bang. I got a great example of that. I want to make that point later. Nintendo quietly teases first 3 Switch 2 launch games, and they all bang. Sounds hot.
I don't even have anything for this.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
fine.
don't know.
Okay. So what is the one Switch 2 game we all know?
Mario
Mario
Kart,
Kart.
something or other.
That is correct. Mario Kart, whatever it'll be called. And then the other two games that they list in here are Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4. Because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible.
Ooh.
And here's the best part. Do we know that those are going to be launch games for the Switch 2?
No.
We don't, because we don't know when the Switch 2 comes out. Because
Nintendo hasn't
and
said anything about them.
we don't know the dates for any of those games other than 2020. We know Switch 2 and those two games are 2025.
But
we
we
do
know-
not know if those games will be out when the Switch 2 launches.
We know. Did Nintendo? I'm sorry that I'm.
Backwards compatible.
We know that Metroid Prime
4
4
is Switch.
They definitely said without
Multiple
a doubt
times,
it's going
100%.
to be. Yeah.
It is a Switch game. Whether they do a Switch 2 version,
Yes, I
we
really
don't
did.
know.
All right.
But it is officially 100% for Switch.
I mean, this isn't the news, but like, is it safe to assume that we're probably going to get kind of like what they did with Breath of the Wild and stuff like that? Like, it's going to come out here, but we're also going to get it there. Like,
They could do that. Yeah, there won't really
but
be
they also
any
don't have to because it's
difference.
backwards compatible. and you get
Exactly.
these
Yeah,
extra-
they had to do that back then because one
And
was a
it's-
disc and one was a game card. So,
Right.
This one is the worst clickbait this week in terms of just being clickbait. The Nintendo Switch 2 could change its name. It's been done before.
That's like that is a
Project Dolphin versus the Wii.
What's the point of doing this? Like, that is a title
For
of an art,
clicks.
but that's a title of an article where I'm like, oh, okay, I don't need to click it because you just gave me that sentence, and this doesn't need to be an article.
Well, I mean, you're one of the few that's not clicking.
But what is it? It's just it's just examples of every time that they had a code name that they changed the name.
You guys are exactly correct. Yes.
We're good masturbators.
Talks about how the Nintendo changed the name of the Wii from Revolution, which they did not because that was a code name for the system. And then this article goes on to
Same
talk
with
about
Dolphin
how
was a code
even though
name.
they revealed the Switch 2 and said the name and showed the logo, they could change the name. Could they change the name? Sure.
They can
But
also change the
these
name of the
situations
Switch right now,
are
if they want.
completely different. And this is such a bull shovel article. It's so stupid. Switch 2
Blah, 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 blah.
is the name. That's the name of the system. We're not getting a different name. Nintendo didn't wait until 2025 to not give us a code name of the system, then show a trailer where we see the logo, we see the branding on the dock, and they call it Switch 2 and everything to later tell us that it's going to be called
Right.
something else and it's coming out this year.
They-
Then what would be the point of any of this? That would be so
But
stupid.
that for that, like I said, that's like for that to be a title of an article, like that's a statement. Period. Like,
That's how
full
I feel.
stop.
Yep.
You know,
I
like
don't
you're
need
having
to
a
click anything.
conversation, somebody could say, they could still change the name. It's like, okay, I guess they could.
Done.
What else is in the news? Like, yeah, that's what really frustrates me about some of this stuff sometimes. Like, and then they write a whole article, and there was
Whole
probably
nothing
like
article, yeah.
Nintendo is a company out of Japan, like the whole history thing. Do they? All right, here's a question.
Nintendo has been naming products since the 1800s.
So those bio elements of a article, do some of these websites have a folder with those bios and they could just copy and
Yeah,
drag
right.
into it because they do it for so many things, right?
I mean, I've been Blunners, if I didn't say hello. I've been on like the inside of some of that stuff when I used to write for like Top Golf.
Right.
And,
Like you
10
need to fill this many sections of this much
It's
of the
like when you
page.
Yes.
used to write a paper and it was like you need X number of
Right.
words. You'd be like, all right. here
because
we
like
go."
when I first started doing that stuff and like I was writing like schmaltzy, like whatever, feel good stories or whatever, I would write them and then they'd be like, this needs to be like double the length. And it would be like they'd want you to write about something that was like a 1-paragraph story. And
Right.
turn
Now
it
that they
into
just
6.
probably have
And
AI doing those things.
I know this sounds like an overreaction. That's a great point. But there are certain things that make me feel like actually sick to my stomach, like gross. And
No, I
that
can
was one of
understand
them.
that,
Like
yeah.
I hit a point with that where I was like, this feels so bad.
Yeah.
Top Golf was really bad with that.
But the whole thing is like, it needs to be like 4 or 5 paragraphs because the ad breaks come in
Yeah.
and people need to scroll.
Yeah. Hi, Solomon Masterling. And then Topgolf wasn't like happy that the traffic wasn't coming in, and everybody who's working on it is like, yeah,
That's because your articles are crap.
yeah, nobody would want to read this. You'd read maybe one and be like, well, I'm never going here again.
You'd be like,
Right.
this
You don't
is
wanna
full of
do that.
ads. I'm not.
And you
looking at
try and
this.
explain that to them, but they just don't understand that stuff.
Interestingly enough, in adjacent news, I am a member of a board of education, and we just had our first reading of a proposed policy from from Strauss Esme, who does like all the policies for AI, and like what
We're
parts.
doing it.
Yeah, we like.
There's
You could ban it altogether, but that would be impossible to do, right? Because like
AI would unban it.
but also like it's a real world tool that we want our children to be prepared to use and use responsibly and understand.
I get so mad at it when it suggests, like when I'm texting friends, I don't want an AI suggestion. Like, let me type my.
But it'd be
I want
great
to
at
talk
work
to people.
to be like, but it's really very interesting, and it's something that I would encourage people to explore in regard, or at least in America, to your public schools, because I think it's like something really important for like our kids to understand. And like, look, like we were kind of, our age group is like cuspy, right? We aren't digital natives exactly, but like we were young enough to like sort of get in on the ground floor. So that's what like kids today are experiencing with like AI, right? They're like not natives, but they're going to be the ones, using it and whatnot. So I just thought like that's a really interesting, thing to get involved with.
And now look, like I showed to Nikki Hill, I don't believe I mentioned it to you. The number one social media post on Facebook this past month was that AI generated giant bread horse.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Number one, nothing got more traffic than that. And it was a religious page that posted it.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
That's
All right, one more
giant,
clickbait for you guys.
I spent so much time making this bread horse and no one
I
appreciates
saw
my
someone
work.
on TikTok a couple weeks ago whose
That's bait.
father
Worked for that.
or mother, I don't remember who it was, but their parent was showing them that. And they were like, this is AI. And they were like, no, but look, they said something like they're in the chef's outfit, and they're like, it's all AI.
And this is why it's important for people to be like, I hope that the libraries do, like our local library has like so many great things available to people for like continuing education. I think they do. You could go do resume writing and like, it just offers all these public service things. And I would love to see if our library is doing something on that for like older adults.
I'm putting the bread story in the Discord if you haven't seen it, just so you can see what we're talking about. I texted it to our old people group chat, the family old people group chat, because they, I don't want them to get caught up in AI, and I'm just like trying to put it out there. So I said, this is your AI warning, Facebook users. I know we got some frequenters in here, so be careful. And I sent them the link to that article that says an AI bread horse was the most popular thing on Facebook last month. And my aunt responded in a great way by saying, looked really stupid. Just goes to show that you can't believe anything that you see anymore. Everything is fake.
She is a national goddamn treasure.
If you go on my Blue Sky, you'll see. I don't remember if I talked about it here or not, but I posted something else from her on my Blue Sky, my personal Blue Sky, not to go Nintendo Blue Sky.
I think the best thing she ever said was we were all on vacation together. So it's her children, her grandchildren, her nieces, nephews, her sisters. And I don't even remember what we were talking about, but she was like, nobody was like believing her or like.
No, we were playing Uno. We were sitting at the table playing Uno.
And she just goes, hey, I've been in this game a long time. And it was just so funny, like.
But she said it like mafioso boss.
It
like
was, and you know what?
It was so funny.
She's
like
a
she's
retired,
about to pull in like $3 million in a poker hand.
She's also a retired teacher, right? Like not putting up with people's just so good.
I'm dropping a link to my personal Blue Sky if you want to follow there. It's got nothing to do with GoNintendo. It's just for fun. But if you want to, you can follow there. Last clickbait, my friends at the table and listeners. Smash Brothers.
Am I your friend?
We started out as friends and then we became lovers.
Were you ever really interested in just friendship?
100%. I've told you this before. I went into high school thinking I would never, ever, ever get a girlfriend. And I prepared myself. I was like, this is just not something that's going to happen. And I never thought ever that we would date each other. No,
Look what you ended up with.
it's worked out pretty good. Tried to kill me last week, but
Even
other
with
than that.
even with that trick hip I've got.
Smash Brothers creators Nintendo Switch 2 comment has fans excited for potential sequel.
Smash Brothers.
So I'm gonna say,
Creator.
yeah, Masahiro Sakurai's Switch 2 comment has fans excited for potential sequel.
Right.
What did he say to get people excited for a sequel?
He talked about a Nintendo game
Mm-hmm.
that as it is has a character in Smash Brothers because
Okay.
all the Nintendo. So he just talked about a random favorite Nintendo game, and people are
Sure.
like, "Oh, he's talking about Kirby, Smash Brothers."
Okay.
Probably
Sakurai,
just said it looks really exciting, and I'm looking forward to whatever people bring to it.
okay. MomBrains is good. Nicky Hill, I would say yours is better, but you guys weren't thinking clickbait enough. I see that like Tentavision. Thank you. So Nintendo this week put out the time for the April 2nd Nintendo Direct. We've known about the April 2nd Nintendo Direct for a few weeks now, but they put out the time this week and they said it's going to be at 9 a.m. New Jersey time, 9 a.m. So Sakurai almost always like retweets or says something about whatever, any of those things, because he works with Nintendo. It doesn't work for Nintendo. He's worked with Nintendo, but they put out that tweet. And Sakurai retweeted it to his followers and included his own little bit of verbiage. And he said, "Wow." All he said was "wow." And again, the article says Sakurai Switch 2 comment has fans excited for potential sequel.
But it's also like worth noting that like isn't it like in Japan or something? It's like really late at night. It's like the middle of the night. That
It's always the middle of the night in Japan.
right?
What are you asking?
The direct, like it's gonna be 9 o'clock or noon here, but like in other parts of the world,
No, it's going to be 9 a.m. here.
9 a.m. here. What is it in Australia, or like what is AWS time or something?
Don't ask me about that.
It will be 11 p.m. in Tokyo, so it
Right.
will be that.
So
night,
like
yeah.
that could also just be like a wow, that's late. I got to
Tokyo.
stay up late for this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Sakurai being like, "Wow, I'm going to pull a late night that night."
Anybody else want coffee?
Like so.
It'll be 1 a.m. for
If you
Australia.
don't, yes, please.
You okay
thank
with
you.
me making noise in the kitchen?
Yeah, can you wait to do the news jingle and then we'll
You
go?
got it.
But like another
I guess I'll take one, please.
You
like
got it.
another headline could have just as easily been like developer of Smash Brothers likes to get to bed early, something like that, because like his comment was wow, you know what I mean?
That would also be clickbait. Or, call me crazy. Don't make a farting article about it. There's
Right.
nothing. You don't even.
But again,
need,
they're
it
just
doesn't
hurting
need to
for
be
content,
posted.
and they're just throwing out there Smash Brothers developer new game.
I've heard many times in my 2-decade GoNintendo career, people are like, "Why are you posting about this? Who cares about this?" And I always say, I don't care if you're interested. My job, as I dictate it, is to keep people aware of what's going on with Nintendo platforms. And that includes all games. It doesn't matter. I know I always go to Barbie's Horse Adventure as an example, but Barbie's Horse Adventure to Metroid Prime 4, it does not matter. I cover the games on equal ground because they are going to a Nintendo system, and I'm covering what's going on in the world of Nintendo. Whether you find a game personally interesting or not does not affect how the news flows. It may affect how you feel about the news or how you feel about what you're reading, but that doesn't mean I should not share it because you're not personally interested. News isn't personally dictated as far as your interests. It's your job to do that. So like if I'm like doing whatever on GoNintendo and you're like, this guy posts about too many games I don't care about, then you don't follow me or you stop reading or whatever. I am out there for people who want to know as much as they can possibly know about what's going on in the world of Nintendo. And that includes every game, big and small, every developer, big and small, like that's it. But when it comes to things like Sakurai saying, wow, there's no story there. There's nothing.
So you didn't post about his.
No.
Okay.
There's nothing to get from
Well,
that.
I appreciate that you didn't, because
Yeah.
like
There's nothing to get from
game
that.
developers are going to post personal things anyway at any point during the day, and it doesn't necessarily tie to a game. But I mean,
If there are things he could have said that I may have posted about. I need more than wow, like if he shared like a full statement of excitement where he's like,
See
I
you
can't
there.
wait for this Nintendo Direct or something like that,
I better get a haircut.
I'd look at it and I'd be like, people would like to know that he said it, but how do I put this as a story? Like, what's the story here? And I'd go back and forth and maybe still not post. But
Didn't people like have like whole articles about him, or like they picked apart his live streams when he was doing like the development diaries and stuff because of what was on the shelves behind him? Like,
well, see, with that, there is some validity to that. There is, there are times when he has teased things like that indirectly, so that's fine.
no, but if he's actually doing that, but like, somebody's
Yeah.
gonna watch this, they're gonna be like, oh, Game Boy or Virtual Boy, blah blah blah, just because it's sitting on the table. It's like, things are here.
Yeah, it is what it is. Well, there's your masturbators for this week, everybody. And I really do believe I'm going to reach out to Kit and Krista and get them to be a part of one of the ones coming up. I don't know what
finished.
one,
Did you
but-
finish?
We'll see. But I like that segment. I think it's fun, and I like putting a spotlight on that garbage so we can all share our frustrations.
Just
in
get
it.
my weather eye out.
But I'm keeping an eye on it too. That's it, MomBrain. You want to hit the jingle, and then you can go. Hi, Blood Ocean.
Is it time for the news? Ooh.
It's time for the news. Finally, time for the news. I know I said we were going to try and keep this going, and that's not been the case, but I'll do what I can now throughout news.
Somebody had a nice comment that said it would never be a short podcast with Nicky Hill at the table.
This is great news. This is great news. I love, as a fan of the Blue Bomber.
Radical
I love to
Defect
say
said
it.
that. Just wanted to give credit. where credit is due.
You might remember that a few months ago, or even more than that. Maybe it was over a year ago. I don't remember how long ago it was, but we learned that the best-selling mainline Mega Man game was Mega Man 2, and it held that title for a very long time. Mega Man 2 sold 1.51 million copies, and it held the mantle of best-selling mainline Mega Man game for a very long time. Mega Man 11 eventually beat that, selling 1.6 million units, which is awesome. To think of such a long-running franchise like that, and to think that the best-selling entry in that sold only, I don't want to say only, but 1.5 million. You probably, as an older gamer, you hear that and you're kind of shocked. You're like, wow, Mega Man's been around forever and there's so many games, and the best-selling entry only sold 1.5 million. There's developers that sell games nowadays and they sell like 4 million, 5 million copies, and they're like, we're closing up shop. That's not enough. So,
But also, this is across all platforms that it was released on.
I'm not sure like how Capcom.
I mean,
they
didn't print 1 million NES cartridges, did they?
Oh yeah, there's NES games that had millions of cartridges.
No, but
sure.
for this one,
I don't know
think?
for sure. I have no idea. I mean, I would imagine the bulk of this number comes from the NES. Yeah, I don't think they're, I don't think, Mega Man 2 factored in or compiled into a compilation would count towards the sales for the individual game.
no, but like, was it on the eShop or
Virtual
Vir-
console or something?
virtual
Yeah, it's
console?
been on that kind of stuff.
so? Like, I would think that it would have sold higher if
I
if a
don't know
large
how
number of
those
people-
sales are counted,
because
but
a lot
you
of
would-
those are
you would
sold.
imagine
People
they're
buy.
factored in there somewhere. But anyway, Mega Man 11 became the best selling with 1.6 million. Well, Capcom just updated their million sellers list with their latest financial report. And Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 11 keeps going. Mega Man 11 has now surpassed 2 million copies sold. So beat the best selling by over 500,000 now, which is awesome to see. And you can see Capcom, soon after Mega Man 11 came out, we're like, we're working on the next Mega Man, everybody. And all these years later, we're like, what the hell? Where is it? What's going on? Mega Man has never been the one to make the transition into 3D successfully from a sales perspective. I really liked Mega Man Legends. I honestly did. I liked that game a lot. But I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. But Mega Man is one of those franchises that hasn't really jumped from its 2D roots to a 3D outing. And I'm not saying it has to, but, there was an era where everybody's like, everything's got to be 3D. And that's why Mega Man Legends existed. And, then for a while, Capcom's like, we don't know what to do with Mega Man. And then they were like, let's literally go back to NES-style Mega Man for 9 and 10. So they're still trying to figure out how to make a Mega Man work. It's very clear. And they did Mega Man 11, which is still a 2D game, but it was polygonal. And now it's the best-selling entry. A lot of those sales come at a discounted price, of course. And Mega Man 11 wasn't a full-price game to begin with. But, the numbers are there. So Capcom is no doubt trying to figure out the path forward for Mega Man, but seeing that encouraging sales for Mega Man 11 is great.
It just
So
makes
it's going to be really
sense.
interesting to see what they do going
It
forward.
makes sense because in numerology or whatever, right? The
One-
11 would be
That's
2.
right.
1 plus 1
we have a
equals
friend
2.
who's
So,
very into that stuff. I get him on the horn and he'd talk all day about it.
so
Angel number or
yeah.
something.
or just, you just look at it. If those were Roman numerals, that would be Mega Man 2. So hits 2 million. It bumps Mega Man 2 off the list of the bestseller. So yeah, off for not the list, but off the top.
I love anybody that just listens to that whole thing because they're like, "What's going on?"
No,
here?"
they've already
Angel numbers, people.
they've already fast forwarded at least 15 seconds,
Nintendo,
which means we're still in it.
Nintendo put out their Q3 fiscal year results for the fiscal year that ends March 2025. They did downgrade their forecast once again. Software and hardware is not selling to the degree that they expected to. That doesn't mean it's doing poorly. It's just their forecasts were off. But they're still making bank. Total number of million sellers during this fiscal period has reached 19. So there's 19 Switch games in the last 9 months that have broken the 1 million sold mark, and that includes first and third party. So there you go. They sold 9.5 million units of hardware so far this fiscal year. So that's
Sorry,
first-
you've probably already said it. 19 games released in this period that hit 1 million.
in the last 9 months. There have been 19 Switch games that released, first and third party
Wow.
combined, that have sold over 1 million copies.
Wow.
Yes.
You see that, Capcom? You see that, Mega Man?
Oh,
You
man.
see those numbers?
Software hit 123 million units sold. So hardware, this is year-on-year comparison. Hardware is down 30%. Software is down 24%. When you look at last year's, what came out last year at this time, it makes perfect sense because you had Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom, 2 like major heavy hitters. So nothing to compare to that this fiscal quarter. Big games, but not anything on that scale, I should say. What else are we going to do here?
Without looking, can you name those 19 games?
No, they didn't even say the 19 games.
Well, we can assume what?
All of Nintendo's
Echoes-
first-party games are in there.
Echo
but-
Wisdom, yeah.
Yes. Well, that's
Or
let me
Echo-
tell you.
Is that what it's called?
We have the game sales info update on total lifetime sales, and that includes new additions.
Oh, it's so many words.
And there
Total
are
lifetime.
3 new additions from Nintendo for this quarter. No, 2 new additions this quarter. 1 came out the previous quarter. So, Nicky Hill, can you guess the 2 new games that released on Switch that are first party that are now million sellers?
Echoes of Wisdom.
That was last quarter.
What?
Very
wait.
close.
Oh, quarter. So what is the quarter? Oh my god.
Fiscal years start in March. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February.
So what are we in? December, January, February?
That is
I
correct.
guess. I don't know if they talk about them, if there's like a gap. I don't know. I don't know anything that came out. New? Oh, Jamboree.
Jamboree is one of them. It is the fastest selling Mario Party ever. Super Mario Party Jamboree has already sold 6.1 million copies.
6.
And I say it's very much deserved because that's a killer Mario Party game.
They had help from the holidays, probably, right? But
yeah, but still, fastest selling Mario Party at the end of the Switch's life in a franchise that's been going since the N64 days. That's a major achievement.
And they
It
had
did that
other
in
games,
10 plus weeks.
They had other games released during this. So Brotherhood?
Brothership is the other one. You got it. Yes. Mario and Luigi Brothership sold 1.8 million so far, which is awesome because that game has its faults, but I really like that game. So that's great to see. They gave an update on Echoes of Wisdom.
It's not about who played it or got through it, right? It's just about who bought the game.
That's right. Echoes of Wisdom has sold 3.9 million copies so far. So about what you'd expect from, you know what? I would say better than you'd expect from a more traditional Zelda game where Zelda is the lead, not Link. So a female-led Legend of Zelda game. I would say those numbers are, I'm disappointed personally. I would like to see it much higher, but I'd say comparing where similar entries in the franchise are and considering that this is a spinoff with a female lead, I think those numbers are pretty decent. Again, personally speaking, I would like them to be much higher because I think
But,
that's
like-
a wonderful game. But it is in line
And
of
that's such
with
a-
what you would expect.
It's such like a silly reason to not buy a game, right? I mean, the game is the same
I agree.
whether whoever's wearing the suit, like Metroid.
You know,
People
if
didn't
Metroid's
know.
wearing the suit,
People didn't know.
yeah,
Um,
but if you look at a very vocal, and unfortunately, it does not look like it's a. I'm not going to say it's not a minority, but it's a group that certainly can make a dent. We'll say that of people who just, if women are going to be in the game, they need to be very scantily clad and they need to look very beautiful, and that needs to be a big focus for them. And if that's not the case, then their immersion's broken and they can't play the game. I am not in that group. Is that the main reason more people didn't buy Echoes of
Oh
Wisdom?
my
I don't
God.
know and we'll never know.
I don't
I'm
mean
going to
to-
guess no. I'm going to guess people will see it as a spin-off and are like, no, not interested.
Right. It's not me.
That's probably the bigger piece of the pie there. But regardless, no matter what the reasons are, I wish the game sold more. But again, I do think they are in line with expectations. I would imagine they're probably a little bit better than what Nintendo.
Outside of crossbow training, there's no real spin-offs. Are there like other spin-offs in the Zelda world? No.
Yeah, it depends on what you count. Like Hyrule Warriors, that's a spinoff.
Okay.
Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, that's a spinoff.
Was that a full game?
Yeah, there were two of them.
What did you do in that?
You were Tingle and you got rupees and you paid people off to do things. That's the truth.
So you what? Where did you get the rupees from? Like you're just like farming them, like cutting down grass.
You
and
get them from people, you collect them, you
What a
barter for like you find things that like people will buy off of you.
It's just a money game. Like
Tingle's all about rupees.
I know, but like this is
It was a really fun
what was
game,
this
but
on?
yes,
Was it
there's
DS or like
DS, yeah. They're sitting back
it
there.
had to have been, yeah.
There's DS, yeah. You had to import them. They didn't release.
Hmm.
They didn't release the
Okay.
first Tingle game in America, and I don't think they released the second Tingle game outside of Japan. I could be
So
wrong.
that makes sense then.
Somebody in chat, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but yeah, I love that game. I'm very sad that game didn't get localized.
I mean, it's not like the same kind of experience as like Animal Crossing, where there's transactions and there's like interactions like that, but it's not that same kind of style. It's literally just bartering and money and like buying, like importing, exporting. Right now, it would be Tingle's Rupee Simulator or something. I guess.
10th Division has a great great example. Cadence of Hyrule, that's a spinoff. Four Swords feels like a spinoff, but technically it's mainline. Yeah, I would put that as spinoff. Yeah, it feels more like a spinoff. I agree. So there you go. So there's spinoffs there. Let me give you updates on million sellers in general.
I just mean different spin-offs. Like we have Mario, and then you have, I guess, Luigi titles would be spin-offs. But definitely you have like Yoshi would be spin-offs of Mario.
Yeah, see, I don't know. It depends on what you define
Just a
spinoff as.
shame, yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold a total of 67 million units. Switch Sports is at 15 million. Animal Crossing is at 47 million. Mario Brothers Wonder is at 15 million. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is at 2.06 million. Remember, that's more than the original sold. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD sold 1. Oh, there's another one. I believe that was this quarter. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I think it was this quarter. Maybe not. Sold 1.8 million. It's tracking behind the 3DS re-release, if you were curious. Smash Brothers Ultimate, 35 million. Pokemon Scarlet Violet, 26 million. Super Mario Odyssey, 29 million. Breath of the Wild, 32 million. Pokemon Sword and Shield, 26 million. Tears of the Kingdom, 21 million. Super Mario Party, 20 million. And New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, 17 million. We all need to do that. If you wanted to hear the release calendar for the Switch, as Nintendo is willing to share, there could be games we don't know about coming from first party that we'll find out about whenever. But the ones we do know about: Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, which is out now; Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, which is March 20th; Pokemon Legends ZA, which is 2025; and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is 2025. And then we got a new addition to this chart: Nintendo Switch 2 Just hardware, release date 2025. So that's the first time we've seen that listed in their fiscal results. And if you were thinking it's not official before and it didn't feel real, well, now it's real because there it is.
And there we have it. Pokemon Legends EA and Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, right there under Switch, not under Switch 2.
Right.
And the Switch,
it says 2025 without a release date. So
the Switch has sold 150.86 million units worldwide. So we're getting, it's getting closer and closer to that PS2 total. I think by the end of 2026, it will have achieved that total.
I also think by the end of 2026, Sony's going to release some information where they found more sales.
Yeah, right. King Broly says 150 million units for Switch. The difference between it and PS2 is less than 10 million. But Switch has a legacy system of systems created in response to it, while the PS2 did not. There was a PS2 Slim, wasn't there? Yeah, there definitely was. But Switch has a legacy of systems created in... I get what you're saying here. I read it wrong. Switch has a legacy of systems created in response to it, while PS2 did not. That is correct. Stuff like the Steam Deck and all the, the Lenovo whatever and all that stuff. You are very right there, my friend. You could count the PS Portal in that as well, which is very much inspired by the idea of the Switch, but does not act the same. But yes, King Broly, very astute. I agree. We already did the Super Mario Party thing. Here's a cool thing. Remember when Sony and Nintendo were working together on a Super Nintendo add-on that was going to be called the Super Nintendo PlayStation? Well, somewhere out there in the world, that device actually saw release, and Sony never went into business for themselves in the game industry, and who knows what happened. But in this universe, Nintendo was like, nah, we're going to work with Philips instead, and it was a terrible idea, and it made one of their main competitors in the industry. But the Super Nintendo PlayStation was a thing, and it exists, and we've seen prototypes. And former PlayStation executive Shuhei Yoshida, thank you, MomBrain, says he got to play one of the games for the system. He said they had a prototype, and they had almost finished a game on it, and he got to play it the day he joined the company. He said it was a shooter. And then he said, do you remember on the Sega CD system, there's an amazing game from Game Arts, a space shooter, and all the assets are streamed from the CDs. So lots of assets coming in. I don't remember who created it. It could have been the blah, 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 blah. But he's saying that's what this space shooter was like for the Super Nintendo PlayStation. He's talking about Sylphid, which is it looks like Star Fox kind of, but it's a little different. But it is a very cool Sega CD game. But that's what he's saying. This unreleased space shooter for the Super Nintendo PlayStation was at the time. So
that was the game, or it was like that?
It was like that. Sylphid exists for the Sega CD.
Right.
This game was like that. That is what he compared it to.
Could you imagine if the only game that actually existed that somebody played was just a port of something else?
But that's awesome, and he's one of very, 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 very few people who got to play that. But now that people heard that this prototype exists. They're going to hope one day it makes it into the hands of fans out there, and then we get to play it too. Hawk says, I'd love to see that game someday. It's interesting that Star Fox 2 isn't the only nearly finished space shooter from that era that's been killed. I also like how it's mentioned in this article that the Nintendo-Sony split is often looked at as one of Nintendo's biggest mistakes, but we don't know where Nintendo would be if it hadn't split. Thank you. Modern day Sony makes a lot of decisions I don't agree with, and I wonder if Nintendo would have been subject to those bad decisions if they were still working together, or if Nintendo would have been allowed the creative freedom that has created so many gaming innovations. We'll never know, but we can at least be glad that despite Nintendo and Sony parting ways, Nintendo is thriving today. Yes, Nintendo had hard times because of Sony, and that was certainly a misstep back in the day because it was a misstep in terms of it created the PlayStation we know now. And as a competitor to Nintendo, but the Sony, the Super Nintendo PlayStation could have bombed for all we know, and not been a success. And then maybe Sony would have gone and done their own thing anyway in the game industry, or maybe they would have been like, "Gaming's not for us," and stepped away completely. We have no idea.
I would wonder. I mean, I guess I could probably look it up myself to see what company, like who had the largest market cap or whatever, like who had more money at the time
between Sega and Nintendo.
Yeah. No, Sony and Nintendo.
Oh, just Sony as far as Sony. They were an entertainment company. They got more.
They probably had more than Nintendo at the time, right?
Definitely.
And like to see, if they would have absorbed Nintendo and just like
I know Nintendo would
diluted
have fought
things,
it.
And
now we are living in a time where where Nintendo value is worth more than Sony's entire
right.
everything, which is crazy.
I
But
can smell a Dr. Squatch soap behind me.
yeah, they're back.
Spicy?
Yeah, there's something about it that there's something in it that I don't like. There's something like
That's probably the flaming,
Cheetos.
the Cheeto one.
yeah, yep.
So go move it.
I can't find it.
They're
It's
both
up top. On the right, over there.
Oh yeah.
Civilization.
Oh, you shouldn't put the flaming brick next to the one that has the herbs, because we might get 3-foot flames.
They're in Ziploc bags. They're fine.
Oh my God, this just in. Tentavision is putting in a cat picture. Speaking of cats, my
Boy, you
cat,
came back and I'm trying to get through news and you derailed us. Big
my
time.
cat curled up so nice in
You
bed.
know what? You're gonna do this and I'm gonna stop you. What the hell?
She was my cat this morning.
I don't like that you do this.
Oh.
Piper is our cat.
I can't wake up I can't get out of bed in the morning because I've gotten into the habit of like I'm laying there and Sally's laying next to me, and then I lay on my back and I split my leg.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She curls up in the middle.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, we're here for like another hour.
Haven't
girl.
you seen the TikTok that's the cat's like, ooh, this is nice. And there she was.
I give her a little boat
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yep.
and she's just
Yep.
sail away to dreamland.
She was curled up in the bed, and then I got in bed next to her, and she came up and curled up right next to me, like by my face, and it was really nice and delightful.
Are you done?
And then this morning she heard
Mhm.
Ramit send a voice note to somebody, and she was like,
That's what I
he's
assumed.
awake, and she went running down the stairs.
Oh.
Just realizing I wanted to touch on something and I forgot, but I'll get to it after news. Civilization 7 is coming out on Switch.
Did you make a note, though?
Week. Huh?
Make a note of it.
Mental note.
All right, we won't get back to it.
Man, now I know what it was about, generally speaking, but I don't remember what it was about specifically. I'll have to think on that. I'll make a mental note to think on that. Civilization 7 is coming out on the Switch this coming week. And that's great to see. Obviously, the support from that team working on the Switch, and you'd have to be like, boy, I wonder what they could do with the game on Switch 2. They haven't talked about bringing it to Switch 2, but their developers are interested in Switch 2. IGN talked to Civ 7 executive producer Dennis Shirk, who talked about Switch 2 for a little bit. And IGN was like, hey, what do you think of those rumors about the Switch 2 Joy-Con having some sort of mouse thing related to it? And Mr. Shirk says, quote, it is definitely intriguing. You always do some trade-offs when you have to deal with pure console controls, and the announcement has some great stuff in it. I love what they're doing with the controllers. It's all very cool. That's about all I can say about it in terms of opinion. I think it looks awesome, and they're not wrong. So it would be cool for something like that. So, dancing around the subject where he's like, I'm privy to some information I can't talk about here. But yeah, Civ as a series existed first on computers. So built to be played with a keyboard and mouse. And if you could have at least the mouse aspect of it, that would probably be very welcome in a console version of the game. So if Switch 2 Joy-Cons do have mouse controls, which unofficially we don't know, or which officially we don't know, but unofficially I would say 100% confirmed, then I'm sure the Civilization producers and team will be very interested in using that capability, but only time will tell.
This is like you said, all but confirmed, right? This mouse.
I said unofficial, or I said officially not confirmed. Unofficially, I would say 100% confirmed.
Unofficially official.
There was a post with the Nintendo patent. I mean, we're getting to it.
Mm-hmm.
You said it in that it all but confirms.
Yeah, because it's not
All
confirmed by
but's
Nintendo yet, and the
confirmed.
patents aren't like this is for the Switch 2. It's obviously for the Switch 2,
Right.
but it's still
I'm just-
unofficial.
I don't know how I feel about this. And
What?
it's not official, but I'll still sound off on it. Like a mouse,
All right, okay, go ahead. Whatever, we'll go. For it.
like mouse input or whatever for control system. Like I don't have a table, like a flat surface nearby when I'm playing.
Mhm.
And my TV is all the way across my house. So like, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a table, but I push it to the side to give room for my dog to have the room, full use of the room. Not everybody has that. What are we gonna now? We have to go buy a coffee table just to play a game? The cost of this thing is it's getting ridiculous. I don't know. I guess I should just shut my mouth and let everybody else who has a coffee table, because they're normal human beings.
Well, you've already said you have a table. You just have to move it because of your dog.
Yeah, but I'm gonna move it back and forth and everything just to play a game. I don't know.
Hey, listen, you got free will, buddy. Do whatever you want. If you want to complain about it, complain. If you want to play it, play it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. The chances of games coming out that only use that as an input method,
It's gonna be few.
probably very few. The chances of games coming out that use that feature as an additional feature, probably a decent amount, at least in the first couple of years. So,
A creature feature?
feature. Tendonin says, from the sound of things, it really would have been better if they ditched the Switch version and planned the game as an eventual Switch 2 launch title instead. Hell, they could have launched it on all platforms around the launch window and given the game a bunch more polish. Still very much looking forward to the game. I don't know that we've heard specifics on how the Switch version is. There have been impressions of the early access version on, well, PC, but I believe other platforms. I could be wrong there. And it seems like people have gripes with Civilization 7 in general. Not specific to the Switch, we're talking about in general. So I don't believe there's been any specific impressions of the Switch version of Civ 7 yet, but Civ 6 on Switch was very warmly welcomed. So outside of whatever technical issues there might be, there will probably be complaints about Civ 7 on Switch as they relate to Civ 7, a game in general, not Switch specific. But we'll find out this week, my friends. Nintendo did their Q&A as always. And you know what? This is where I'll say, AI, I'm okay with you in this one regard.
AI? A-okay.
Because Google has,
Hey, I'm all right with it.
we've had machine translations, as they're called, for a long time, where it's like, this is in another language. What does it mean? And then you put it in a translator online and you get like a very rough idea. But obviously, that technology has improved since then, and AI is used to help with those translations, those machine translations. So now what you get is a much more accurate translation, or at least much closer to what's being said. So now when Nintendo puts out their Q&A for their investor briefing, that's always in Japanese, and then you have to wait 2.5 days to get the English version. But now when the PDF comes out, you can just take the PDF, put it in Google Translate, and it translates it for you, and then you have your translation. So thanks to that stuff, we get our answers much earlier, and that includes talk of this time around Nintendo being ready to fight scalpers with the Switch 2. Nintendo has said before that they're doing what they can to make sure people who want to get the Switch 2 can get it at launch. And Nintendo's president Shuntaro Furukawa said they would quote, "We'll take all possible measures based on the experience we have accumulated to date in regards to scalpers and the like," end quote. And
They
Nintendo's
currently
also said they're
have-
making preparations, but they didn't specify what those preparations.
They currently have Charles Martinet doing trainings on how to take these people down.
Sorry, I was drinking coffee. It's almost like Dew is here.
Assassination trainings.
I hear that's a new game they're making. Assassination Trainer.
Simulator. Assassination training simulator.
Sorry, I was finishing my coffee. Give me 1 second.
How is it?
Sweeter than usual, but good. Why? What's up?
Nothing. I just know that you like the way I make it.
Poison?
Oh,
This is very good.
No.
Delicious, thank you.
Yeah, it's actually, I accidentally bought fat-free half and half, which doesn't do it for me. But if I steam it, then it's not so upsetting.
So Nintendo said multiple times that hopefully you'll have an easier chance of getting the Switch 2 this time around, and scalpers will have a lot more trouble getting it. The specifics of which we don't know. We know Nintendo's been ironing out production issues. Also, if you live in the United States and you're worried about the situation with China and that affecting imports, Nintendo's got to import systems to the United States. And if there's parts that are manufactured in China or all that, there could be potential issues with tariffs and imports blocked and all that stuff. Do not worry about that because Nintendo foresaw potential issues and they have shifted years ago,
To an
a year and a half
underground
ago,
system.
to I forget where it is, but it's somewhere where that won't apply at all. So if that situation gets worse in the United States, Nintendo can take the stock, the Switch 2 stock that's being made there, and ship that to the US without any issue. I forget where it is, but it's somewhere that wouldn't impact it at all. It'd be no problem. So, you know, there's much bigger things to worry about. But as a Nintendo fan, I have thought about that stuff too, and I read into it to make sure I'm not giving you fake news or false information. That Nintendo can pivot that way should they need to. So don't worry about it.
Don't we have like an underground vacuum system? Like what's it, like banks with the shoot
Like
your
my
thing?
grandfather has in
Like
his
in
nursing home.
Futurama.
What is that?
That's
The
right,
vacuum
yes.
system is
Well,
all
it's
like
because he said that there's a tunnel system under the
tunnel
nursing home.
system.
He also, according to my mother, he now
Your mother.
unfortunately he had like a really bad cold and he's having trouble like regaining his strength. So like now he's not like even able to independently transfer into his wheelchair. He'll get there. The point is, when my mom goes to visit, which is like every day or every other day, he has a roommate and he just sits and talks trash about the roommate in
Who's
front of
sitting
the
right there.
roommate because my mom, they have like a really nice courtyard and like different. So my mom would try to like, she's like, I don't want to just sit in this room. Right. And he's just like, I just wish he'd just die, like talking about his roommate.
Yo.
And I'm like, well, at least they don't have to worry about him like acting on killing his roommate because he can't get out of bed by himself yet at this point. And like, I told my mom, I was like, when you talk to the physical therapist, like, just make sure that like he could transfer to his chair, but like can't reach too far. Like, yep, just wish he'd die. And my mom's like, Daddy, like he can hear you. And my grandfather can't hear squat. So.
I was watching a reality show last night where there's one person on the show who's very quirky and different and unique. And there were three people who were walking there were three people who were walking out of a room and they got, not far enough away before they were like making comments about this woman. And this woman was in the room with somebody else. And she's like, I just heard them. Like she already knows everybody thinks that about her. And she's like, nobody listens to me because they think I'm a weirdo or whatever. And she's like, I just heard them like saying that stuff. And the guy who was with her was like, I know, but he's like, don't let it get in your head. Like you can't let it distract you from the game. Like don't make it a thing that's going to blow up your spot and, cause a whole bunch of stuff. And then the guy that was supporting her got kicked out or killed. He got killed. So, but I was, are
these all celebrities on the?
They are, but it, it depends on they are all celebrities to someone. Yes. Cause it's like,
right. No,
Real Housewives.
Not,
and that's not me knocking them. There's people on the show who I definitely know. There's people from like MTV's The Challenge and Survivor and stuff like that. But there's other people I don't know, but they tell you who they are on the screen.
It's a little frustrating too.
That they go all celebrities. I wish they did what the first season.
Like normal people can't make money on it or something. Like
here's what I'll say.
Well, it's charity, right? I guess.
No, they win the money because they
keep.
They do what they want with it, but yeah, my understanding is they are paid the whatever the nominal fee is that you get paid for appearing. They're not paid as a it's like what $750 or something. They're there to play to get the money, but they've obviously made their money on other shows. It'd be it'd be like Snooki going on. It'd be like she's trying to win money, and it'd be like Snooki, don't you have like a bunch of money already? But
well, that's why like the other celebrity stuff that I've been a part of, it's like charitable. Like it goes towards charity and stuff.
See the Snooki shirt at Five Below. I got a TikTok of it.
No.
I'll look for it.
But
Sorry.
damn it, I had a point.
Celebrity or not celebrities.
Oh yeah, I would be totally fine if they didn't do any celebrities, like the UK version. Like I don't need celebrities to be interested in the show. I wish what they would do is what they did with the first season, which was a split of regular people and celebrities, and I found that really interesting. I was like, this is really fun to watch. These like regular Joe Schmo people interacting with celebrities, and I really like that dynamic. I thought there was a lot of
that's like
fun.
Scary too as far as the game goes, because now you have like people building alliances with people just because they're kind of like they're celebrities, and it's like I admire you, and then you're like backstabbed by these people.
That's one of the unique things about the seasons now, because you get that, but you get people staying together based on the shows that they were on. It's like we three were on Survivor, and us four are Housewives, and us three were on The Challenge, and like it's interesting to see that dynamic play out. But Yeah, I that doesn't take away from the show for me at all, but I would prefer if they just went at least half regular people, half celebrities. But anyway, Hawk about the supply issue says they better mean it this time. Yeah, we've been here before with the Wii and the Switch. So hopefully Nintendo doesn't want that issue to happen, obviously. So we'll see. Nintendo has pledged to continue supporting Switch as long as there is demand. So Nintendo, the Switch 2 is on the way, and they obviously got to put games on the Switch 2, and there's going to be exclusive games there. But Nintendo's president, Mr. Furukawa, did say that Nintendo will continue supporting Switch as long as there's a demand for it. They didn't give details on like what's coming out or what they're going to do, but you got 150 plus million install base there. Switch 2 is going to come out, and Nintendo's not going to be like, well, done with this system. There's going to be plenty of developers that stay there for years to come because that's a big audience to go after. But Nintendo has to thread that needle of, we don't want to completely leave these people behind, which is why they're doing backwards compatibility. That's great. But also, Switch 2 needs to have heavy hitters to convince people that to pick up that system. So they got to do, Switch isn't going to have a great first-party showing from Nintendo once Switch 2 is out. There may be a couple things here and there, but...
And Nintendo also... They go pretty hard, right? With like new content. It's like
their cadence with the Switch was like that was,
it's not just like
that really helped the system.
Here's a port from this system and a port from this system and a port from this system.
Mm-hmm.
Your opinion. GTA 6. I think we talked about this the other day.
Will it happen?
I feel like that is a big I'm kind of expecting
I've never
to see that.
I don't want to say confident. I've never had this much hope that it is going to happen because, like I said to you, that game is coming out on the Xbox Series S, which is the weakest of any of the platforms it will come out on. And Switch 2 should be able to get somewhere within that realm.
Right.
It might not be there at launch with the other versions, but I really do believe it will be there.
I think, if that is part of the that's like, one more thing, at the end of the direct, and if they do that,
you either open with that or you close with that. Yeah,
I think
you don't put that in the middle
right?
somewhere.
No,
I would open with it and I'd close with a first party, like something that doesn't need to be explained first party. So like open with GTA 6 because that'd be killer. In the middle, you do like your brand new Nintendo IP that shows you here's how you use the mouse stuff, and then you do like a whole bunch of third party stuff. You show off Mario Kart, obviously. End of the direct, you're like, here's your one more thing, and then you show Super Mario Odyssey 2, like something that people will know what it is, where it doesn't need time to be explained for people to get it.
I mean, you're more familiar with it, and
Well, Nintendo fans are like that. Would be.
I feel like if you show GTA 6 first, a lot of people are going to tune out. They're not even going to absorb anything else that's going on because they're just
But you're showing to Nintendo fans first. Like these,
I think
the direct's going to be watched by millions overall, but it's first geared towards Nintendo fans. And you want to show the Nintendo fans, here is why you want to Switch 2. And they're going to want Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong, that stuff. GTA 6 will be great.
You don't think Mario Kart would be the first one because they're they've already.
Oh yeah, it certainly could be. Yeah, that could be true too. Yes, that could definitely happen.
Where was the GTA DS game? That was in a video or in a.
Where was it showcased?
They didn't even do videos back then.
I don't remember.
That was a shocking reveal at the time. I think
it was very surprising.
Chinatown Wars, right?
Yeah. And I stand by that being a really good GTA game. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, here's the thing. Nintendo systems have found incredible success with 0 GTA games.
I know, but just with the hype surrounding GTA 6.
No, I agree.
If that is part of the direct,
if that game is coming to the Switch 2, it will be a part of the direct,
right?
Without a doubt.
And it's going to be.
And here's the truth of it:
an enormous response.
The truth is, it doesn't matter where you put it in the direct; it's going to cause excitement. But yeah, I would, Nintendo. It could be. if you were going to put it at the end of the direct, that would be extremely goodwill from Nintendo to be like, hey, third parties, look, this is going to be the one more thing in our presentation. That would be a killer one more thing. It's if they showed it at the end as the final thing, I would not be upset at all. It's not something to be upset about. I don't think there's a wrong place to show it. No. I don't think you put it in the middle and you're like GTA 6, everybody, and like a sizzle reel and then keep going. Like it needs to have a segment in and of itself.
It's big enough that I feel like they could do their own direct on it or whatever, probably. But like
that game's going to sell like over 100 million copies. Yeah, that's going to be huge. And you know for sure Nintendo has had conversations with Take-Two where they're like, we would really like Grand Theft Auto to be on the system.
They've got Red Dead on the Switch, right? Red Dead 2?
No. Red Dead Redemption.
Just the one, the first one?
Whatever the first one is, yeah.
Oh, all right. What do I know?
I bet the sequel goes.
Oh my gosh. And the direct is going to be at 6 a.m. Pacific time? 6? And 9 a.m. Eastern time, which you flip the 9, it's a 6?
You know, there's plenty of Reddit threads where you could go and people will take these comments seriously. So Take-Two, since we're talking about Take-Two and they're the publisher of this stuff, let's go here. Take-Two said they fully expect to support Switch 2 going forward. They're not ready to talk about what they're doing. Obviously, they're being quiet because Nintendo asked them to be quiet. But Take-Two has been a big supporter of the Switch. So their big guy Zelnick over there says, quote, we've had obviously a long-standing relationship with Nintendo. We've supported the platform when it made sense for the individual release. He's talking about Switch there. There was a time when Nintendo, and this is the most telling statement that will give you hope for GTA on Switch 2, and it also aggravates me at the same time. Mr. Zelnick says, quote, there was a time when Nintendo platforms were geared at younger audiences. That was reflected in our release schedule. Today, with Switch and potentially Switch 2, the Switch device can support any audience. I hate that this comment is made. It is so farting stupid because, that, you know, whatever. But it is an important statement to signal other developers, publishers, and gamers in general. Take-Two is like, hey, there was a time where Nintendo was kiddie and the Switch was kiddie, but that time is long over and we're there with everything now. So for them to be like, it's an adult system. I hate this stupid argument. I've always hated it. It's ignorant. And it pisses me off that the head of this company is talking like this. But what he says holds water, as in people are going to pay attention to this. And that's a big signal to be like, hey, we found success with our more adult-oriented franchises on Switch. And he's like, we fully expect to support Nintendo going forward. So, yes, it reads very well. And if they are like, hey, Switch isn't just for kids and Nintendo isn't just for kids, and we fully expect to support Nintendo going forward, tell me another, like, that's like... That gives me, that's why I'm so optimistic GTA 6 will be on Switch 2. Again, I don't know if it'll be there day and date with other platforms, but, you know, it coming to the system no matter what definitely will be a great thing. Because, look, GTA 4 or GTA 5 was on PS3 and Xbox, whatever. Whatever. Doesn't matter. And then, you know, it sold so many there. Xbox One, thank you. It sold so many there, and then it went to PS4 and Xbox Series. No, a one is that? Whatever. I can't remember these. It went between multiple generations of systems, and it sold millions on all those generations of systems. Yeah. So that's, you know, it's going to sell for years and years and years to come. So if it comes to Switch at launch, or if it comes to Switch 2 at launch, or a year after launch, it doesn't matter. It's going to sell.
Also, April 2nd, 4/2/6.
The numbers are there. This Nicky Hill, big numbers guy this time.
Listen, there's no coincidences, right?
Numbers.
There's no such thing as a coincidence. So there you go. We did all that. Speaking of big publishers who are talking about supporting Switch 2 while not really talking about supporting Switch 2, EA. EA CEO Andrew Wilson had this to say about Switch 2. Quote, anytime a new console comes into the marketplace, that's of a benefit to us. It gives us the ability to access and acquire new players. Typically, we've had franchises perform very well on Nintendo platforms. Certainly, our expectations is that products like FC, soccer, and Madden, and others might find real energy on the platform, as they've done in the past. So again, there is nothing in our models at this juncture. He's talking about their projected models of like, we're going to sell this much here. But our expectation is that anytime a great new console comes into the marketplace that gives us access to new players and new communities, that we have IP that will benefit from that. So again, these third parties are very clearly under NDA with Nintendo. And Nintendo's like, don't say what you're doing until the direct. We're holding it for that. And they're like, okay, EA is going to be 100% on the Switch too. What they bring there, we don't know. But it's very, so sports games from EA on the Switch haven't really been there, minus FIFA or now FC. That's been there day one. We have had 0 Madden games. That's their other huge franchise. So for him to say that Madden, quote, might find real energy on the platform, end quote, I would take that as they're going to try Madden on Switch too and see what happens there. So more sports games there are not a bad thing. And EA being there in general is not a bad thing. So we shall see.
They don't really do much other than sports and Sims, I guess, right? What else are they doing?
Oh, that's funny that you say that, because they also commented about My Sims. They did the My Sims Cozy Bundle on Switch, which was surprise announced, or it leaked, surprise announced, and then came out. That's 2 My Sims games from the Wii in one package. Mr. Wilson says that game, quote, performed well ahead, end quote, of ES expectations. They said that roughly 50% of the players who picked that game up were new to EA, which is a number EA definitely wants. So that's extra good that they got that number. So
that was the bundle that had, like,
as I just said a second ago, yes, it had My Sims and My Sims Kingdom, 2 Wii games bundled together on the Switch. It's also available on PC. But
well, I was gonna think there was like wasn't there like a, or maybe that was just the press release or the press kit that they sent out that had like things that came in it other than the games too.
What are you talking
I don't know,
about?
was it stickers or it wasn't a plush or anything?
What about it?
Well, when I saw bundle, that's what I thought.
No,
initially.
that is only for press. You
Gotcha.
can't buy those anywhere. So that's great, especially because look, we're in the 8th year of the Switch. They put out this bundle out of nowhere, and it sells well ahead of what they expected, and brought them roughly 50% new EA customers. That's
What
great.
if they,
That's great
what
all
if they
around.
merged the two and now you live in like a Sims world as a football player, but not on the field, right?
Football.
And so like you just go day by day. Like
How do you alienate both audiences? You make My
you
Sims
just
football.
like, you know, you got to like up your protein intake every day and do enough training and stuff like that.
I am upping my protein intake, I will tell you that, and I mean that in a normal way, because I knew MomBrain was.
I am too, interestingly enough.
I knew MomBrain was going to joke about this. I saw somebody on TikTok do cream of wheat, which I was already a fan, and a serving of protein, and I've been doing that, and boy, is it good.
Just that, or you mix a protein into it?
Like the protein powder.
What do you mean? Oh yeah,
it's like
I'm
cream of
sorry, I
wheat
should
with
have been
protein
clear.
powder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
protein powder in the mix
I
of
mean,
cream of
protein's important. You
Very
wanna-
good, very good.
Uh,
I literally had it today.
cream of wheat is slept on. You know, like it's just such a delightful. I guess if you have texture issues, it's probably a no for
Yes.
you. But otherwise,
Certain texture
It-
issues, because
it-
I have texture issues, but that's fine. I love slop though. So
yeah, it's just
I want to say very quickly, cream of wheat, cream of rice. I'm cream of rice hands down. I
don't
like cream of
like
rice
cream of
way
rice?
better.
What?
Raw Dad has a
Cream of rice,
a
I'd
sweet
say.
spot for cream of rice.
I have to stop at the store on the way home.
I grew up on cream of rice, made by same companies and all that. Not as many people know about it. I would hands down take cream of rice every single time over cream of wheat. I think cream of rice is way better flavor, texture, everything. I love cream of rice. I could do cream of rice with protein, couldn't I? Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that? But I like cream of wheat. It's fine. But cream of rice
is slightly, according to Google AI, cream of rice is slightly lower in calories, carbs, and fiber. And cream of wheat is a better source of iron and B6.
Iron helps us play. Try cream of rice, people. It's really good. Make it with water. Make it with milk, sugar. My dad puts butter in it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like grits.
If it gets like creamy.
Not
I feel like a
creamy.
complete
I'm an oatmeal
doofus.
gal.
I
like
do
oatmeal, too.
oatmeal, and saw somewhere where somebody put like salt in their oatmeal, and I'm like, why have I never done? Because like when I do when I've done in the past cream of wheat, I'd add
Yeah.
salt.
Yeah.
They tell
I'm
you
like,
to. Yeah.
Right. Oh, maybe that's what it was. I saw it on the package,
Like a
and
pinch.
I'm like, salt.
By the way, you get a
Look at
pinch of
this
salt
ad on
in
the site right now.
coffee
Silk.
here.
Is
Like
it?
I put a just a
Yeah, I've heard that too.
like 2 or 3
'cause
little flakes.
Got a silk ad with 8 grams of protein per
Look at
serving.
that.
and I added a little bit, like a little dash of salt in my oatmeal, and I was like, this is a
It's a
game
whole new
changer. Like
world.
I felt like some of the commonplace things that raw meat experiences for the first
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
and I was just like, oh my gosh, why? How can I not have done this?
That's what with the protein and the cream of wheat. I
I mean,
like,
like,
how have
if-
I never
if
thought
I
of
had
doing this?
Peanut butter, you get the saltiness in there anyway, so it kind of makes
That's
sense.
what I add some of that peanut butter powder sometimes.
But yeah, man,
You should check the
Steister,
Discord when you're done.
am I in trouble?
No.
Steister on the EA's topic says, I'm old enough to remember when EA was done supporting Nintendo systems. Glad to see them back. They're back, baby. Everybody's coming back. I've been told to go to the Discord. I will go there.
Centivisions. Google AI also told me to put glue on my pizza, so I don't believe you.
I read about that. Yeah, is that what you were telling me to go there for?
No.
Who am I looking at? Use your words. Yes, Tentavision, it is. Tentavision says, is that an Undertale Deltarune shirt, RMC? This is specifically a Deltarune shirt. That is correct. It's the shirt that the main character wears in that. I am so happy you noticed that. When my
Is there anything on it?
no, it's just the exact shirt that they wear, which is it's made by Fangamer. But it's the exact shirt that the main character wears. And when we had a family together, I was wearing this shirt, and I was like, I hope there's one family member who is so observant, and I was like, I really think there's a chance they're gonna know this shirt, and I'm not gonna say anything. And they walked in the door and saw me, and they're like, "Is that the shirt from?" I was like, "I knew it. I knew I could count on you." So, like I said, whatever, we don't have a term for this, understated secret gaming shirts or whatever. This is definitely one of them, and I absolutely love it. And for the people that really know, they know. So there you go. Thank you, Tentavision. You are correct. Let's continue with news. Jesus Christ, we're failing so much.
I mean, whatever.
I don't think it's supposed
Don't worry
to
about
Yeah,
it.
but I don't
and
want
I'm
this to be
okay.
a 4-hour show.
God forbid.
Nintendo is talking about price of the Switch 2. They haven't said specifically what the price will be, but they got you guys. Don't worry. In their Q&A, Mr. Furukawa, the president, said, in addition to the current inflation, we are aware that the exchange rate environment has changed significantly since the launch of the Switch. We need to consider the affordable prices that consumers expect from Nintendo products. When considering the price of our products, we believe that it is necessary to consider these factors from multiple angles. At this time, we cannot disclose the specific price of Switch 2, but we are considering it while taking various points into consideration. At this time, there are no blah, blah, blah. So they're taking exchange rate, which for us in the US right now would lead to a cheaper system, which would be great. But they also know Nintendo's often seen as the more affordable company when it comes to their hardware. They missed the mark with the 3DS because the 3DS was $350 at launch, and people were like, nope. And less than, geez, I think it was 4 months later, they're like, we're going to cut the price by $80. Oh, a Monster Hunter's coming. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, I'll get this
And
thing.
then they gave like a free game download.
The
to
ambassador
somebody,
program.
yeah.
Yeah. So Nintendo doesn't want to repeat that. So they know their people their fans see them as an affordable company. The question is, what is affordable now? Is there a world where Nintendo sells the Switch OLED for $350 and the Switch 2 for $400? That is the question. Could a $50 difference be all that we see in the price of a new system in the OLED? I don't know. I think $450 might be the spot. But that might be a slightly tough pill to swallow for some people. It's not horrendous. I think $450, they're going to be fine. But if they could somehow hit the 400 mark.
The OLED right now is 400?
No, 350.
350.
If you could do Switch 2 at 400, they see, like, if the Switch 2 doesn't have OLED, they could do it. Because a lot of
the regular Switch, 250?
3. Switch Lite is 252. I think it's 2.
I don't know.
And Nintendo also said they're not changing the price of the Switch.
Like,
Switch is as it
you're
stays.
looking at
Yeah, if you look at the Switch
more
OLED because of the
technology and-
screen, and then you look at Switch 2, if it doesn't have an OLED and it has a lot of the same parts and the controllers that are in the Switch, there's a world where they could do 400, based on my very limited knowledge.
424.
But I could see it happening. $449.99. I don't know. We'll find out together, my friends. But is there a world where it's 500? There is. There is. I don't think it's a good world for Nintendo, but there is. Zeldude says, hoping for no more than 400. I'd be happy with that price point. That I really think they would kill it there. If that would be crazy. If you just get a $50 increase over the OLED.
What if they?
Because that you'd really look at it more as a $100 increase over the current Switch, which makes sense. Man, that'd be a good spot if they could pull off 400.
What if they introduce a layaway program?
Plenty of places have that already. So yeah, go to
A
what's
rent.
the big one?
A rent to own.
Kmart.
No, come on.
That's where I remember it. Or,
Yeah.
The
like,
huge one. They're
Affirm
known
or-
for.
Oh, the furniture or the
Raymore Flanagan.
No, we used to see commercials for them
Unclaimed
all
Freight?
the time during like wrestling. I want to say it's like a guy's name or
Frank.
O'Reilly. No, that's the auto parts.
where you like borrow the furniture and pay it off.
Yes, yes. You're thinking of
Rent
it.
a center? No.
That's
Oh,
one of them.
that is
Hi,
one
Video
of-
Game Guru. Good to see you.
There's the rent to own system.
A Video Game Guru says 3DS launch was $250, not $350. That is correct. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. My apologies.
And that had 2 screens, and one of them was 3D.
It did. Bob's discount furniture. No, I was thinking of Rent a Center. That's what I was thinking of. $400 seems reasonable, says Blood Ocean. I think so too. But again, I'm armchair analyst here. I may know a lot about Nintendo, but I don't know anything about building these things and component prices, any of that. I could be like $450. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't be like that because I'm not silly like that. But I'm saying like I could see a world where this could be the price, and I don't really know Shovel. I'm just looking at previously what they've done and what parts are in this thing and taking a stab at it. But we're finding out this year. Maybe we'll find out in April. I don't know. Nintendo also said that they're going to continue working on smartphone apps and games because it's important for them to expand the reach of their IP that way. So they didn't say what games they're doing, but they did say that they believe their mobile apps and games have increased the opportunities for many people to come in contact with their IP and characters. So they will do more, but they did not say what those will be. So if you want to know what games and apps Nintendo's got planned for mobile, they aren't telling you, but there will be new ones. So, what's out there now? Fire Emblem, which is still making bank for them.
Is Mario Kart still a thing?
Mario Kart is a thing.
Mario
yes.
Run.
Mario Run is still there.
Still there?
Yes. Yeah, you can still buy that.
They closed
They
up
just-
Animal Crossing, right?
Well, they
closed it
have the
off
paid
and made it-
version now.
yeah.
Yeah. Fire Emblem is the one that's like the real, like they're putting out new content all the time, and like Mario Run, Super Mario Run, they still do collaborations. They just did one not that long ago with one of their other games.
And
So
Pikmin.
Big Man Blue.
Pikmin Blue.
it's there, yeah, and
So what if it-
Pokemon Go,
what if
but
they-
those are ties with other companies.
What if that was like a Tingle thing where like you're
Oh,
walking
yeah,
around,
I'm sure if they're looking to make money, they'd go Tingle.
right?
Historically, a very popular franchise
Oh.
for them.
But
Would
it's an
I be there?
introduction
Yes.
to that, yeah. You know.
Zeldude says Nintendo dogs on smartphones. They wrote Nintendo dogs. I'm just reading what they wrote. Microtransactions for dog toys and outfits. Print that money, Nintendo. I mean, they're so
Like,
right. They're
that
so
just makes
right.
sense. You go for a walk, you're walking your dog, like
Yeah, like a Pikmin
They're
bloom.
so right
like,
about
kinda,
that.
Yeah.
Put in
Yeah.
little bows and ribbons and bowls and toys. Yeah,
Yep.
they're so right about that. And Nintendo has said, we were like, hey, we're going to go into the mobile space. We're going to try things new. We're going to try free. We're going to try standard microtransactions. We're going to try pay one price up front and you get everything forever. And people were like, $10 for a mobile game? No way. Fire Emblem with microtransactions at the ass. Give me more of it. So Nintendo tried. So if they went Nintendogs, then yeah, probably they do gotcha elements because people
It's Nintendo
want that.
dogs.
Nintendo dogs. So
Rufus,
who knows?
Doodle.
Poofle in China.
Poofle in China.
oh my gosh, there's
That
like
that would-
connectivity, so that like I'm walking and you cross the street walking your dog, and like we
Mhm.
get little gifts or something that our dogs left for each
Park
other.
pass. Yeah, that you there would be an audience for that, I think. Yes.
Oh,
Will
and even in the
Nintendogs
game-
ever reach the heights it once hit on the DS? I'm gonna say no, but if it's got a chance, I would say through the
I feel like
through
enough time
phones
has
it
passed
could.
that it might. Like a
And, like-
whole bunch of people who never.
It might. It's possible. It is possible.
And just like in real life, like you might not that saying you would be like this, but like somebody else who has it doesn't pick up after their dog. So like you're walking your dog and it's like, oh, dogs are pooping all over the town and they're not cleaning up after themselves. Well,
and
the-
you make
clean up after their
you
dogs.
make in-game currency for cleaning up other dogs' poop.
Yeah.
And it's all there, all poop-based economy. Yeah. Switch has the most first-party million sellers of any hardware ever. You name a game system, Switch has more first-party million sellers. So we're talking about Microsoft, Sony, Sega, obviously, when they were making hardware, and Nintendo. Nintendo's Switch has had 72 million selling first-party titles.
72 first party titles. That is
72 first-party
million
million
sellers.
selling titles. Yes. The closest to that is what other platform? Guesses?
The Wii.
The man guesses
DS.
the Wii, and the lady guesses the DS, and the lady is correct. The Nintendo DS had 55 million sellers first party. So Switch blew it away, and we're not done yet. Pokemon Legends is going to be a million seller without a doubt. Metroid Prime 4 will be a million seller. Not by a lot, but it will be.
I feel like Sony's ready to chime in with a complaint like, wow, but they have their Nintendo titles. And it's like, well, yes, that's
they
the
put
first
out
way.
more titles. Yep, they do. That's true. They have more first party games.
It's not fair.
You were saying something?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Endgamer says the side effect of this is this leads to some third parties not supporting Nintendo because Nintendo outsells them. It's like why put out Delta Force or any other popular shooter on Switch when Splatoon 4 and Switch 2 would simply crush in sales despite the gameplay issues the Splatoon series still has to date. Well, now we've seen that's not really true because we've seen, like we said, 19 million first party or 19 million sell. God, let me try this again. 19 million selling titles on Switch in this fiscal year, which is only 3 quarters deep so far. Switch has been the one to break the mold for Nintendo by and large. We've seen third parties constantly find great success on the Switch, and they are not competing. Certainly, they're competing to a degree with first-party titles, as is the case with any platform. Yes, it is stronger on Nintendo platforms because they are made their name with their first-party franchises, but from day 1 to year 8 now, we've seen that those third parties can legit make.
Success is not limited. Right?
What do you mean?
Like if Nintendo puts out a third person shooter or whatever, or like a battle royale type game, and it does really well, that doesn't mean that another game that releases on the Switch won't be
It
successful.
doesn't mean that, but
Like, if that
traditionally
game is
it has been tougher for third parties to make a dent because of Nintendo's first party titles, because it has nothing to do with genres. It has to do with people are more willing to spend their money on the first party titles because that's why they're picking up a Nintendo system.
But if a game is still really popular on another system, it's just popular in general, and people have a Switch, they'll still buy it, and that means they have more of that type of game, right? Like,
well, the Switch is different again in that it's really broken that mold for Nintendo. But like previous systems, like the Wii, even though
It
that
did
had its
limit,
success, it was a hurdle for them to get over. But the Switch has really changed that, and I think a lot of that has to do with the portability of the Switch, because you take games that are popular on other platforms already, you bring them over to Switch, and you're like, now you can play it on the go wherever you want. So it gives people a whole new reason to buy those games, and we're going to see that again with Switch 2. So that situation has led to Nintendo breaking that curse. I want to acknowledge that has been a curse for Nintendo, and that has been, I would say, a valid complaint for third parties where they're like, we don't necessarily want to go on Nintendo platforms with too much stuff because it's so hard to get attention when everybody's buying Mario Party and the latest Mario game and Legend of Zelda. Like, that's where the focus is. But we've seen that get fixed this time around. And also, there's the other side of that complaint where Nintendo fans were always like, hey, how about you do a decent port of your game and maybe we'll buy it then, not one that's hamstrung or one that doesn't have like half the features it has on other platforms. And this time around, more or less, third parties have been like, okay, let's actually do it the right way. And they've been rewarded. So there's a whole bunch of factors that led to bigger third-party sales on Switch, but it's going to help them a ton on Switch too. Very quickly, Nintendo's stock hit another high. Whatever. Lots of people sent it to me. I know I said on the podcast I'm not going to talk about it.
And then right after that, it hit another high. It's
so
like
it just keeps going.
Spiked. And honestly, this is not financial advice. Don't do whatever. Like, do your own research. But I think, again, if GTA 6 is announced,
oh yeah, that
stuff's going to go crazy.
As we touched on already,
before it
Switch
plummets again.
To rumors of the Joy-Con having some sort of mouse feature. There were rumors of that, of an optical sensor before we saw the Switch 2 revealed. Then the trailer showed that there is some sort of sensor there. Nintendo has not publicly said what it is. In the reveal trailer for the Switch 2, we saw that the Joy-Con are zipping around on a table and certainly makes look like there's some kind of mouse-like activity there. Now, this week, a patent that was published, or a patent that was submitted over 2 years ago, has been made public now. And it shows basically a Joy-Con that has a mouse-like feature. It's all right there. You can see the images from the patent that show the Joy-Con being held down on basically where the wrist strap connector is and being moved around like a mouse. It's all right there. So
like a Pro controller.
No, we're not talking about that yet.
Oh.
We're talking about the story before that.
Oh, I missed it. Yes.
And the patent shows like one index finger on the R shoulder button, another index finger, your middle finger on the ZR button. So like the 2-click on a mouse. It shows the thumb resting on the joystick, which is interesting. And then again, where you connect the wrist strap thing, that is face down on a flat surface, and it shows it being used as a mouse. This patent doesn't say anything about it being related to Switch 2, but it is a Joy-Con. It's again, officially, Nintendo has not said the Switch 2 has mouse-like capabilities through its Joy-Con. Unofficially, I say it's 100% confirmed. We have this patent. So there you go. The speculation, I think, can be put to rest, but we're still waiting for Nintendo to officially say something.
Also confirmed, it's for children because those are tiny little hands.
Well, remember, the Joy-Con are bigger this time. They even show that in the trailer.
Well,
they show you how they're bigger.
Little hands.
I got baby hands. So, King Broly says, low key, the biggest innovation in handheld space right now, considering all the PC handhelds coming out. What King Broly is saying there is this. All the, again, the Steam Deck and other similar platforms are out there doing what the Switch did 7-8 years ago. And King Broly is saying that this is the biggest innovation in that space where you're getting some sort of mouse functionality where everybody else is just like, hey, we're doing what the Switch did, but you play PC games. And Nintendo's like, hey, how about a new input method? How it will be used remains to be seen.
Or there's maybe a Marvel game where you get to play as Iron Man and you hold them down facing the ground while you're standing there and you can Iron Man your way out of there.
It's the old wheelbarrow that you did in gym class. So a friend stands behind you and pushes you around on the floor.
I'm getting really excited about this Switch 2 situation.
As Nicky Hill jumped the gun on. Yes, that same day, in that same patent, if you went digging even deeper, shows what appears to be a new Switch 2 Pro controller that can split in the middle, and each piece will give you the mouse-like control. So if you wanted, people play with the Switch Pro controller right now for a more traditional style setup and a more traditional style feel.
Tradish.
And this patent shows a more traditional style controller that's not for the current Switch that can be split in the middle, literally piece by piece. So like the Joy-Con, you hold on your left and right hands, and then put part of it can be put face down on the table for mouse-like capabilities. So it seems like if there is a Switch 2 Pro controller, you will be able to split it to still get the mouse functionality that will be in the Joy-Con as we expect it to be. So that makes perfect sense. And according to this patent, it's not the final design, but this patent makes it look more like a PlayStation style controller than like the Switch Pro controller is right now. But we'll see what the final design is when Nintendo puts that out. Obviously, it will need to be ergonomically a little different from the current Pro controller if you're able to split it and put it face down on a table. But there you go. First comment comes from Hawk. And they say, I'm wondering if we'll see a new kind of mouse pad for your lap, or if people will mostly use it on books or coffee tables. I remember when with Mario Paint, they included a gray plastic slab as a mouse pad, but I doubt they would do that at this time. I've sort of been imagining some interesting lap mouse pad designs I think could be pretty good.
For when you play Honey Pop, a nice lap mouse pad.
I remember that hard mouse pad for Mario Paint. Yeah, I really like that thing. But you're right. Depending on how Nintendo's going to use this and how they want you to use it, and as Nicky Hill has brought up, there's going to have to be an element of how are we going to comfortably use this thing, and where are we going to use it? But this is what I imagine. Nintendo knows so many people have their Switch set up at their desk with their monitors for their computers. Like it's not probably the main thing, but a very decent portion of the audience has that set up, and they're like, if people are already sitting there doing that, then they can put their mouse Joy-Con down on the table. You were saying, Nicky?
If it's what kind of optical sensor? Mm-hmm. Could it be used on the screen? Do you think too?
Pointed at the screen?
No. Like you have the Switch, and like you're like scrolling on the screen as well. Like
what would be the purpose of that?
It's not a big enough screen.
No, you mean just to control something on? What are you talking about?
Like if you like I don't know, like a new Luigi's Mansion where like you're like searching for.
So you're only playing it handheld?
Yeah, well, that's like the weird thing, right?
And you'd be covering like a big part of the screen. Plus, I would imagine Nintendo wouldn't want you scratching up the screen.
No, but I mean, it depends on what the attachments and like how that works. If it's padded or something.
I don't think that's going to to be a thing. I don't see how that would work.
Just thinking of other ways to utilize that sensor.
I could see something like that happening in like a Wario, like a one shot.
But it has to be like a big screen.
That's what I'm saying. I guess it's not.
Hi, Vachi.
Not that big. The only thing you could do is like scroll left and
to
right.
erase.
You'd be covering a big chunk of the screen when you're doing it.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of other ways to utilize this technology.
Well, you'll find out April 2nd. I guarantee Nintendo will have ideas that you didn't even consider. So, because that's what they always do. All right, North America, what do we got? Let me tell you. And then I'm going to go pee. Thank you. North America this week. We get Civ 7 on February 11th. Arcade Archives Thunder Fox, Astro Run, Bad Parenthood, Beef Cat Ultra, Big Helmet Heroes, Cats the Commander, Show Aniki Collection. Look that one up. If you don't know what Show Aniki is, you're gonna be tickled by that one. Dino Market, Drop That Cat.
Oh no!
I tell MomBrain all the time. The PC 8801 Mark II version of Carmine 88, Genome Guardian, Jumping Ninja, Karaoke Animal Party, Sing and Dance, Last Monarch, Let's Cook Together Too, Light Guardian, Luck Be a Landlord, Macross, there you go, I told you, you're going to be tickled. Macross Shooting Insight, that's like a very popular franchise in Japan, and I'm surprised it finally is coming here. I'm talking, not Macross, funny I should say that, I'm talking about Shoaniki. Malu the Princess, Momodora Moonlit Farewell, a Metroidvania, a sequel, and I hear it's great. Moons of Darsalon, look up Moons of Darsalon. It looks so damn cool. It's like a platformer, cinematic platformer, puzzler, Lemmings, Pikmin-esque game with like a very it's like Super Nintendo early PlayStation era where everything's like computer 3D rendered. It looks really cool. I don't think enough people are paying attention to that one, especially watch the trailer to see it in motion. It looks awesome.
What's it called? Sorry.
Moons of Darsalon, Darsalon. Penguin Flight, Pixel Game Maker Series Timothy and the Tower of Moo, Perfect Collection, that's with 2 R's, Shield Wall, Silent Forest Deadly Night Horror, Skyline Bowling, Space Cleanup Cosmic Robot Disinfector, Stacky Dash, Suguro Quest Dice Heroes. Suguro Quest Dice Heroes is a game that came out for the Famicom and never released outside of Japan until now. This is an enhanced version of the Famicom game. It's a board game RPG, and I want to play it. It looks like a lot of fun. Super Jaeger Bomber 2, or I guess it's Jagger Bomber 2. Go East. Survival Gladiator, Blades of the Colosseum. The Liar's Tavern. Toon Breakout 3D. Treflix minigames. Turbo Overkill looks like an awesome FPS. Check that out. Under Defeat, Undying, which has been supposed to come to the Switch for years. Urban Myth Dissolution Center. If you're into visual novels, especially with a pixel aesthetic, look at this one. I am all about this one. I hope it's a good game. You don't have to play music. U-Game Plus. And finally, Zumba, the Marble Shooter Tiki Adventure. Ches Cat says, really wish they put a rating system on the eShop. So much garbage shovelware. Whatever. No comment on that. Nicky, Josh, could you please? I'm going to go pee. You guys.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases. Is this thing on?
It is on. Thank you, Josh. Thank you very much for a kind introduction. And this is the week of February 6th, the year of our Lord 2025. Over in Europe, I think it's the same week that we have here too, right? The days are all the same.
Yeah, I believe they're a day behind.
Oh. In some ways, we're years behind in America. But hey, you know, it's another week. We're into February.
We got there.
We got there. And
you start your release.
Europe, this is what you're getting if you want it. If you want it, come and get it or go and get them. Civilization 7. We got there, everybody.
We got there. I mean, do you think there's anybody who's played all of the first 6?
We know a couple people.
Because I feel like Lube's probably been playing the first one.
John the Savage.
Yeah, I feel like okay.
And I mean, Loop's been in 6, right? He's been in it.
I don't know. But I'm sure he got there.
Genso Manege. It's
like mayonnaise?
I think it's more like there's like an Italian kind of
melange
slur. Perhaps. I don't know. There's an accent on the E. Momodora, Moonlit Farewell, Bad Parenthood, Big Helmet Heroes, Card Collector Trading Shop, Car Wash Tycoon Business Simulator, Cats the Commander for Nintendo Switch. For the Nintendo Switch.
I mean, aren't these all implied to be on the Switch?
Yes.
So,
But
wait, is
one
that the title of the game?
I don't know. I guess that's entitled. That's included. So says the man
I feel like
in the
we
bathroom.
should shut the door.
Chained Heroes, the Egg Console PC 8801 Mark II SR release of Carmine, or Carmine 88, whatever. I don't know. Elves, the Enchanted Magic Heart, Genome Guardian. I imagine that's some sort of pharmaceutical game, pharmaceutical simulator, perhaps. Hamster Cozy,
Ooh.
Tears of Acorn Valley. That sounds sweet. And also harrowing. Heist Simulator, Year of Our Lord 2025. Hoarding Simulator 2.0. If you didn't collect enough stuff before, get ready for 2.0. That's where I think the biggest update in that is the feces, I think.
Definitely.
Jumping Ninja. Karaoke Animal Party, Sing and Dance. Korean Drone Flying Tour, Dan Yang Gun. Leafy Season. Let's Cook Together 2. Luck Me a Landlord.
It's supposed to be B. I will fire Nintendo Jam.
Luck Be a Landlord?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Not Buck Me a Landlord?
No.
Or Luck Me a Band Lord?
Careful.
We're halfway through, guys. Just letting you know.
Lush Forest. It's a short list.
We'll get there.
Lush Forest. Malu the Princess. Not no, that's Malo, right? In
As in the
Zelda?
Mart, the owner of the Mart.
Right. So this is not
Or Super Mario RPG.
Mechanita, Meow Mission,
Mhm.
Mars of Darsalon,
Nope.
Moons
There you go.
of Darsalon. Woo! Relaxing Jigsaw, Rookie Table Tennis, Squab, Sugoro Quest, Dice Heroes, TCG Game Market Simulator. What is TCG?
Trading card game.
The trading card game Card Market Simulator. If you like cards, you're in for a treat. Trading Card Shop Simulator as well.
Mhm.
Trayflix mini games, Under Defeat, Vampire Waifu Puzzles,
Oh.
While Waiting, Whittingham Asylum, and last but not least, Zumba, the market shooter Tiki Adventure. Oh my, that old game.
Well, see, the original is called Zuma.
Oh, and this is
So this is
Zumba.
a knockoff.
Oh, this is full of potential lawsuits because Zumba is also the
Exercise,
fitness
yes.
thing. So yeah, they're just ripping off everybody. Human Fart has a comment. They say, "Thank you, Nicky. We are blessed."
There you go. We are blessed. And MomBrain, will you please bless us by telling what you've been playing? Because MomBrain has been playing something.
I have.
I heard in the beginning.
I have been playing Hello Kitty Friendship Island.
Oh,
Is that it? Friendship Island? I think that's it. I am thoroughly enjoying it. Now, as expected,
It's Island Adventure. I was checking before I said it.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So sorry. As expected, there are many elements in it that remind one of Animal Crossing, for sure.
The islands.
Islands, yes. There's also, fishing, bug catching so far. Here's the deal, though. It's a much bigger world. Like, you can explore so much.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an
There's
adventure.
more of a game. There's more Yeah, go ahead.
So, if you are familiar with Animal Crossing, you're going to be very comfortable with this game. It's very similar, right, in style, but there's something about the Hello Kitty one that feels more like, I don't know, feels like there's more to do. Like it feels bigger. There's more exploring to be done. You've got your friends on the island, you give them gifts, you decorate houses, all that jazz. You can change outfits.
Are there quests of some sort?
Yeah, it's just constantly somebody's asking you to do something
Oh.
for them. And some of them are like timed daily or weekly stuff.
But like town, I'm sorry to
No, it's
interrupt
okay.
questions, but like town related
Like a theme, like stuff.
jobs, or is it like what adventure? I'm thinking like, is there like,
So you're
you know,
basically
considered like thrilling thing,
you've
you know?
landed on an island that used to have like a big theme park on it.
Ooh,
So and there's
sign
like
me up.
mysteries about like,
Okay.
it's been abandoned, and so you're like there and you're trying to kind of get it back up and running, and there's like different areas which are cool, right? That's kind of got that like little bit of that sort of like Zelda vibe where there's like the swamp and the mountain and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then there's cooking and crafting, there's just all kinds of stuff. So there's like a little bit of like almost like a Stardew Valley feel in that kind of process. So it's like, Stardew Valley is like a little bit bigger. Although in Stardew, I feel like I remember like spending a lot of time doing like chores in Stardew, like, feeding your animals and watering plants and blah, 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 which got like then the day would be done and you'd be like, oh crap. So there's not been anything in Hello Kitty that I have found to be like stressful. In fact, there's a couple of times where you're like solving puzzles and like the character that's with you is like, you want me to do this for you? And you could be like, yeah, sure, thanks, appreciate that. You could turn on a guide so that if you're in the middle of like a quest, or you're like, doing a chore, you can have like a little icon like guide you to where you need to go. So, which I think is nice. Like, right, you don't have to have it on, but it does keep things feeling like real chill and relaxed. There's day and night, although, again, I just started playing. I'm sure that like certain things only happen at night or during the day, and there's a thing for weather, but that hasn't really made a difference yet, and it's not
Like
been bad
real
weather
weather?
yet in the game
In the game.
weather.
Speaking of,
I have very few complaints. One of the there is a Snakes on a Plane reference. The only complaint I have, and it may be something I can fix in the settings, you can't move the camera. So there have been like a lot of times where I've wanted to like adjust the view, or where like it goes into like a top down view and you can't go out of it, but you want to like see. And I'm assuming it's because they need to keep things small. I mean, I don't know, right? From like a game, like
No, they just didn't want to make camera control something that players had to deal with.
yeah, I wish that you could, because there've been a couple times where I found myself like squinting or like trying to crane my neck to see something better. So, maybe that would be like my one gripe.
what is it?
Really?
Is it normally like a 3/4 view?
Yeah, I guess.
And
Yeah.
then sometimes it comes up over.
Yeah, in certain places it comes up over top.
When you're inside buildings, perhaps.
There's some areas like on the map where it does a
really?
top down. Yeah. So, and like there's climbing and you have like a stamina wheel. So like part of me wants to be able to like look up and see how far, or like you dive and I want to like look around, but like, I just feel like there have been a bunch of times where I've like wanted to move a camera. It's not getting in the way of the gameplay by any means.
So it's like there's a story and there's like a game to play, but then there's also like lifestyle game, not lifestyle game, but like
It's like Animal Crossing mixed with like a regular game.
right.
I mean, there's
like push block puzzles and stuff like that.
But they all are like in the service of like
Friendship.
getting your missions done and taking care of what needs to be taken care of. So it's really relaxing. It's chill. I played it handheld and on the TV. I like them both. The music is fine.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, the
like, there's people
sounds.
singing and everything. I honestly was like impressed with what I heard of the soundtrack while you were playing.
Yeah, I have. It's a really nice way to disassociate for a bit. It kind of scratches that itch of feeling like you're checking things off a list without it feeling. So far, I haven't done anything that's been like, oh god, I got to get this done before like this, there's like some challenges where like you like push a button and then you have to run and collect a bunch of things. Or like go through a maze. There's like little mini games if you want to do them. But so far it's been really fun. If that's your kind of game, then I think you're going to enjoy it. I like woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to play a little Hello Kitty, which is the sign of a good game. Yeah. That's what I've been playing.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Thank you.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Nicky Hill, what
I
have you
have
been
not
playing?
played anything other than a couple of rolls of the Q-less dice.
Okay.
How about you, Raw Meat Cowboy? What have you been playing?
I played Fortnite as always. Had some really good games this week.
Don't rush.
I mean, we talked about Fortnite so much. There's nothing else to
I
say.
know.
We play Fortnite all the time. It's a great time. Have a lot of fun. I was busy doing Nintendo's financial stuff this week, so I didn't play as much as I want. And I got to be honest, I'm kind of more thinking about the state of our nation than wanting to play games. I've just been like reading news and keeping up on stuff and feeling like a general depression, I think you would call it. So I haven't been in the mood to play too much. Like playing Fortnite is different because that's an excuse. Like I'm talking with friends and joking and laughing. Like I will never not want to do that. So that's not like sitting down to play a game for me. Yes, obviously that's what I'm doing, but I'm more there to chat with everybody and have fun. which is what Do is doing this week, actually, because I know Do has been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And we went to go. I hope he's not mad I'm telling the story. If you get mad, Do, I apologize. We were playing Fortnite.
Do Michaels, we speak your name.
He played the first round, and he's like, I'll sit out after this one. Usually, if we have more than 4 people, everybody sits out a round. Nobody cares. You're there to talk. And then we were finishing up that game, and Do was like, I'm going to sit out the next one. And he hadn't said anything. I said, sounds like somebody's been putting in a little too much time in Kingdom Come Deliverance too. And he was like, you shut up. So I know he's playing it so much that he's hurting his hands. He's back in the wrist.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought he was playing that while he's talking to you guys.
No. He's played so much that he hurt his hands again. So he's taking a break, or he was there on Fortnite to talk with us, but he was in too much pain to play. So he was sitting it out. I hope he's doing better now.
Is there something we can get him? Like a squeezy
No, he just has
ball
to
or
not
something?
play so much or wear the wrist strap things all the time.
It's wrists, yeah. You can't really
Wrist guard. But yeah.
I didn't realize that was causing a problem.
Him playing games? Yeah, that's where it comes from.
I thought it was more so from the zombie game.
Well, they both must have some sort of repetitive motion that.
I mean, they all do, I guess, right? Like
Fortnite doesn't. There are games that don't have repetitive motions, and there's games where you hit the same button or same joystick input over and over and over again because you're doing it. Like, I'm sure in Kingdom Come Deliverance, he's like doing something to run long distances, or he's like mashing through conversations that he's had, or like selling. There's got to be some repetitive motion that he's doing. Malik Halo, that is funny. So yeah, so then you do that, you go to Fortnite and you're constantly changing what you're doing. Yes, you're using the same joysticks and buttons, but you're not doing the same kind of motion. It's broken up in between different things. So whatever it is, he's in pain. I hope he's feeling better. So I explained why I'm not really playing all that much, though I did play some Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake this week. I was at a boss that I was struggling with. I went out to grind. It paid off because I beat the boss. And I was really proud of myself for beating that boss, and it seems like I'm at like the next big chunk of the game. So I gave a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of things, and now I'm going to a volcano to throw something into a volcano, and I have a feeling that's going to activate a boss fight. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm playing that, and then that's all that I'm playing. Let's do questions. We officially ran out of questions on the GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com email address. So I put out a call very quickly in the Discord earlier, and some people went in there, dropped some off. But next time, if we run out of questions, I'm just going to stop that part of the show, and I'll just do the Patreon questions because they're there. But if you want to keep it going, send a question or 2 or 10 to GoNintPod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. It's funny. I was watching The Traders, and I've sat here trying to think of the thing I wanted to talk about with The Traders, and I still can't remember from the first time. But in The Traders, I was watching an episode last night, and what's his name? Alan Cummings. He gives wonderful, over-the-top dramatic speeches all the time. And he had one where he ended it with hell, but he says it exactly like we say it, where he's like, and you'll be sent straight to hell. And I was so tempted to record it. I was like, I got to get that on the soundboard. But I'm desperately trying to think of that thing I wanted to talk about. I went through my notes. Celebrities.
Is that part of it?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But anyway, send your questions if you want. We have a question from NicoDarunia. Who are your MomBrain is for me and you, Nicky Hill. If you have answers, you're welcome to answer, but I don't think you will.
Thank you for not including me and stressing me out.
Who are your 3 favorite wrestlers? NicoDarunia says number 3, Kurt Angle, number 2, Bret Hart, number 1, Eddie Guerrero.
Jeff Hardy.
Number 1?
No, 2.
Whoa, who's number 1? Roddy's number 1.
Roddy Piper is my number 1. And Rhea Ripley is my number 3.
This is very tough for me.
Rhea?
Diarrhea Ripley, yeah.
I didn't know if it was Rita.
No, Rita Ridley. I got to put Shawn Michaels in there somewhere.
Goodbye, Blood Ocean.
Because
be safe at work.
He's, he's
just
amazing.
a sexy boy.
I really, really, really appreciate Drew McIntyre. I
I
think
appreciate him too.
on the mic, he's incredible. And in the ring, I really like his style. I really think Drew McIntyre's in there somewhere for me. I just
Is that
really
a glow
appreciate
up
what he
or
does.
is that a
that.
power up?
I'd say it's a power up.
Right.
Or
a dark
the
metamorphosis.
confidence that he's gotten since he was fired and came back, and the transformation in his physique, the things he's done to his body, and his skills on the microphone. That's
He
just
was like
something.
a little,
it's
like a young man when
Yeah.
he left, and like a full fledged man
There's
when he
just
came back.
there's certain things you can't teach when it comes to the microphone, and he's just got it. Like, he's passionate. He's great in his delivery. He can go toe to toe with the major ad libbers like Punk, and Seth Rollins. Like, he's right there with everybody. He's just,
I like
and
Seth
for-
Rollins an awful lot.
and that's a
do.
part of wrestling for me. It's a big part. As much as the in-ring action, your skills on the microphone are just as important. Sometimes not, if not more important. So Drew McIntyre's in there. Who else do I really like? Like, really, really, really like?
I mean, don't forget the women.
I was just thinking, you don't have to say that.
Well, I just
And if I don't have a woman in my top three, then that's
A
okay
woman?
too, but
Name a
I'm
woman?
a woman.
I love. I don't remember her AEW name. Her WWE name was Ember Moon. I really, really loved Ember Moon. Her finisher is incredible. But I also just like her in the ring in general. And Ruka Soul is another one that I really like. Just trying to think. There's so many. That's what I'm coming up
Gunther?
with I love Gunther. Yeah, he's a great one. See, like, it's tough. I feel like
What was the woman
like it's
that had like
I feel like it's sacrilege, but I feel like I could kick out Shawn Michaels and put
No,
Gunther
you
in there.
can't. You
It's
can't.
Like-
my list.
red hair? Like she was
Becky
she
Lynch?
was she like Japanese or something?
Asuka.
Is that
I really like
I
Asuka. She's not in my top three, but I really like Asuka. There's other Japanese wrestlers or Asian wrestlers in general I like more than Asuka. Yeah, I'd have to really think about it, but that's what you get off the top of my head. We also have a Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. Eggmond did, and I asked this question. You are going I think they meant, must be a typo. You're going out to your local Australian bakery to get lunch. You get to pick one savory and one sweet. What do you choose? Assume all have good vegetarian, vegan options if that applies to you. Savory, pie, usually some sort of meat or veggie. Sausage roll, pasty. You say pasty, right?
You can.
And
Pasty.
quiche.
I'm going quiche. As long
Eh?
as there's no ham.
What's quiche again?
Eggs, like an egg pie.
Then I'd probably go quiche.
I feel like I'd probably go sausage roll today.
Okay.
That's how I'm feeling today.
And your sweet, vanilla slice, caramel slice, finger bun, Neenish tart. I don't know what two of these things are.
I'd say a caramel slice sounds good.
Is that all of them?
Yes. I'm looking up what a finger bun is. Not safe for work.
I don't know.
Finger bun. The finger bun is a fruit bun popular in the UK, Australia.
And what's the other one? Neenish or something?
At one time, it's a bakery and school staple. Wheat flour, milk, sugar, dried fruit, spices. I'm not big on dried fruit, but it's topped with coconut. There's a finger bun if you wanted to see it.
Oh.
Looks nice.
Oh, top with coconut
Looks
though, you
like
said?
school bread from at Epcot. Is it Norway? Maybe it's delicious.
Neenish tart is a tart made with pastry base and a filling consisting of sweet gelatin set cream, mock cream, icing, sugar paste, or lemon, and sweet condensed milk mixture with dried icing on top. I'm Neenish tart all the way.
See it. Gotta see it.
Neenish tart.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Give me
I'll
a
give that a
Neenish
shot.
tart.
I mean, even if that was chicken salad, it kind of looks like it could be.
look, it
picture,
looks
but-
like an enhanced black and white
It
cookie
does.
Yeah.
here. Neenish
All right,
tart.
Neenish tart, please. what's a pasty? Is that like a hand pie?
Mhm.
You know what?
That was the previous one.
Yeah,
I know. I think I'll do the pasty with a Ninish tart. They're both kind of similar in,
Similar
form.
to an American ham pie, pocket, short crust pastry filled with meat and vegetables.
Yeah, I think I'll.
Folded and crimped.
I mean, right now,
Give me a quiche and a Ninish
Currently?
pie. Ninish tart.
I kind of really want a sausage roll, but I think I want to up the pasty with the.
I want
Ninish
to try
tart.
Ninish tart so bad now. This Ninish tart looks unbelievable. Team Ninish tart all the way.
How do you spell that? I gotta look.
It's spelled exactly how you think it is.
wonder
I
if we're
N I
pronouncing it
Oh, no.
or
correctly.
N-E-E.
N-E-E. Yeah. How else would you say N-E-E? It's got to be Neen.
I don't know.
I mean, Neenish. Five-ish Finkel, Neenish Ninkle.
Mhm.
So it's spelled like penis.
Yes, you spell it like penis.
Penis.
Ow, my penis. I hurt my penis.
Even more reason
My
for the
penis,
Ninish tart.
penis pastry.
Doc, can
Oh,
you take a look at my
man.
penis, please?
I wonder if I look up.
How are you feeling
Ninish-
today? Little penis.
What's that coming out of your penis?
I'm looking it up. I'm gonna do this.
Boy's
Excuse
got
me.
quite the penis on him.
Please cover your penis.
What did I hear about your penis?
Penis is all around.
Penis posh. Oh, penis posh.
Oh, penis
Oh,
posh.
basha bosh.
Oh, basha bosh.
All right, let's do music.
Do you want to do music? I know we were trying to be zippy.
Don't say that. I'll
Okay,
get thrown
okay,
under the
all
bus.
right.
If I don't do
I don't-
music, people are going to kill me.
Okay. All right.
I feel bad not doing it when we only have 3 people, but
Well, why
People-
don't we do like half? You want to do like 5?
MomBrain has suggested we do 5. I will agree. Send all your hate mail to MomBrain.
Please do. I love it. I eat it up.
Send it to her Blue Sky. Where are you at on Blue Sky?
Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky. Danny Fanny, maybe?
I like
Ooh,
how you don't
ooh.
know.
How about this?
I
Wait,
don't.
No, we're done, Nicky Hill. You don't like picking things. We're done.
no, I'm just. It's not here. I'm trying to find a Ninish tart place in New Jersey.
Ah.
All right. Well, I mean, if you're going to send hate mail, just make it sexy.
Homemade.
I got
Pop-Tarts,
music.
not the
You
same.
want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Is that what I sound like?
Do I not follow you?
I follow you.
What are you?
I think Danny Fanny.
D-A-N-N-I?
I think so. Yeah, there I am.
Yeah.
Or just Danny.
Oh, I'm following you. That's weird. D-A-N-N-I-F-I-N-N-I.
Fanni, right? Yeah. You said
Is that-
Finni, I
Did
think.
I?
Danny Finney.
Or maybe I
Maybe
did.
you
Who
did.
knows?
Maybe I will. Okay. Well then. How great was that magazine
Send your music
cover?
to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
Please put music in the title. Help out your local mom brain. Get this AI crap out of here.
This one comes from Mikey3319.
Oh no, I know this song.
Contra?
No.
Oh, it's
Is it Konami?
Super Double Dragon.
It is in fact
Not a great soundtrack, but this song's okay.
Super Double.
Super Double Dragon has one great song, and it's a song when you're riding on the trains. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a really cool song.
Okay. There you have it. Our next
Ba-ba-bee-na,
musical delight is from our friend Rosemary the Farmer. But first,
An ad on YouTube.
an ad on YouTube. And here we go.
Well, it's definitely first party.
It is.
Oh, you had something in your voice there. The way you, I know. Come on, I've known you forever. The way you said that. There's something to
Is it a
what
Wii
I
channel?
said. So this is a party game, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. To read you like a book.
No kidding.
Uh-oh, is it
It's gotta be a-
WarioWare?
It's got to be a Mario Party. I just don't know what one. What system, MomBrain?
Switch.
I'm gonna
Jamboree.
go Super Mario Party.
It's Jamboree.
Oh, damn it!
You got there. Way to go, Mr. Hill. That was from Rosemary the Farmer.
Is it scary that I can read you so well?
A little unsettling. I mean, I'm a terrible liar, so it's not like
You
I
weren't
think
lying. There was
I
just
know,
a
but-
little something to the way you said it.
Yep.
You were like, "Ooh, party," and that's in the name.
I'm being studied.
You're my greatest study.
Mhm. This one is
My
from
life's work.
Turbo K.
Oh, I like it. I don't know it, but I like it.
Is it an RPG?
It's
Yes.
it's a portable.
No.
What system?
Super Nintendo.
Wow, that whistle being low quality is like a signature of a portable. That's surprising.
Is it a secret game?
The rest does sound like Super Nintendo. That's really surprising. I would have bet my life on that being DS or GBA.
Good thing you didn't.
I don't know what this is, but boy, I like it a lot. First party?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Man, this is fantastic. I'm excited to hear what this is.
It is
Oh, is Nicky Hill done?
Yeah, I got it.
Last Bible 3.
Oh my God. I've heard of the franchise. Man, that is such a cool song. Last Bible 3, what's the name of the song?
I don't know, but I will send
It's
it to
on
you
a
if you
YouTube
want.
video. Let's go to the YouTube video. Last
Underworld
Bible
Forest.
3. Man, it's the first thing that came up, so people really like this song. And that one, yeah, it's got like a lot of likes on it. That's an awesome song. I'm gonna have to check out those soundtracks.
All right, this one
Ooh, extra long line on that one.
comes from H Big Boss, the artist formerly known as Hylian Hero LOZ. Sorry, was a little bit of an error on that one.
Turok.
Let's try this one.
Is it first party?
I want to say it's something that I wouldn't expect it to be. No More
Dog
Heroes or
Island.
something?
No.
Is it a cozy game? Would you think? Is it something like, I don't know if you heard me, No More Heroes or something?
It's not No More Heroes.
Or like one of those?
I don't know if I'm wrong. It sounds familiar.
I'm sure you played it.
It's not first party. System? Wait. What's wrong? You're doing two things at once.
I'm just trying to manage it all. 3DS.
It's very high quality for 3DS. And it's not first party. Jeez. Do you know the company? Don't tell me, but do you know it?
I'll look it up.
Trying to think of companies that would do really high quality on 3DS. It'd be like Square Enix or something.
Konami.
Oh my God, I got no idea what the hell Konami
Lost
doing
in
on
Blue?
3DS.
Mm-mm.
I don't know at all.
Give up.
Elevate something or other?
It is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
What song is that?
Yeah.
Sailor.
I do not remember that from that game, but that
So
makes
is
sense
it
why
like
it's
I
a
had
high
a
quality
feeling
song.
like it was gonna be like a game that
Boy, launch 3DS. That's good. You got us. That's a good one.
Game.
You got there.
Okie dokie. So, is this the last one?
Yep. Okie dokie.
We've got. No, not that one.
Oh, sorry, whoever she just skipped over.
Oh.
Rough. The
Um,
power she yields.
Oh, don't I know it? This song. No. Yeah. This song comes
Oh,
to
don't
us.
pick like that. That's gross. Is that how you do this?
No, I had to make sure it wasn't somebody. This one comes from our friend Matthew.
I need to talk to you about how you're picking songs.
Oh, well, why don't you pick the song?
I think what she's saying is that, like, individuals send multiple, so she has to pick
And I have to make sure it's not
person that she hasn't already chosen.
Oh, come on. This is so easy.
Oh, Beyond Good and Evil.
Yes.
Boy, it gave us a layup there at the end. 3 out of 5. That
Or-
equals 6 out of 9.
That's
I believe.
right.
Thank you. We'll do full music next week. Remember, DannyFenny.bluesky. Whatever. That's where you can send your anchor. And no do. So we literally.
Oh, I think I got bit by a spider.
What?
What?
There's spiders in here? A spider almost took my
I
leg
got
when I was in middle
when you
school.
sit in the hot seat, you risk, because they don't realize
Oh my god.
who's sitting there.
Is that how he gets notified of having rumors?
I
They
know.
nip
I
at
think
him?
they have to bite me because I don't have a sensor, like a spider and
I
fly
gotcha, I gotcha.
sensor.
More direct
Um,
approach.
But it looks like Dew was kind enough to share my my inbox with them once again. So this is Dew's Views. It's never news. Usually starring Dew Michaels, but sitting in for Dew Michaels is Nicky Hill. This is Nicky Hill, View from the Hill.
Ooh, sitting
Wow.
on one sore butt cheek from that bite.
Mm.
Yeah, I better go get this checked out. I don't want it to get infected. So yes, usually these spiders and flies are good for the news, good for the views, good for the rumors. They are,
Lord help us.
I don't know how this works.
It's all right, because
they're usually rumors, but I have pretty good intel that this is true this
Oh
week.
my god.
So Dew Michaels, once again, we speak your name. I'm sorry to just adopt your spider and fly children, but hey, the news must get through,
And maybe one day we'll hear it.
and you watch that tude. I'm very confident that this is confirmed. This is, well, not confirmed, but this is true. Again, we have not been confirmed that
We have not been confirmed.
it has not been confirmed by Nintendo that the Joy-Cons for the Switch 2 will have mouse functionality. But I think it's safe to say, based off of this news, that it can be confirmed, but we can't confirm it 100%.
Oh my god, help me.
I just don't want to speak out of turn. It has been announced
I'll blow my
that so in May, I believe it is, there's a Karate Kid Legends movie coming out starring Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, and they're both going to be involved in a Switch 2 game release that is a Karate Kid Legends, the movie, the game, in which you will be waxing on and waxing off and painting the fence and sanding
Everybody's
sanding
favorite
the
parts of
deck,
the movie.
so that you can get full immersion using the Joy-Con controllers and their
Mhm.
mouse functionality. So based off of that being part of the game, in this game version of the movie, I think we can say that we're going to have mouse functionality with these Joy-Con controllers.
First million seller confirmed right there.
I'm looking forward to it. I know I'm not the only one. Thank you, MomBrain. Well, you're not applauding me. You're applauding these spiders and flies.
The hard work they do.
And the hard work of Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio.
Surprise!
Single fly who works 2 jobs.
Surprise! Charles Martinet's not involved in this one. He's been involved in it. Well,
He's got his
rumors, but
hands
this one's
full.
true.
He's
This
got
one's
his
true.
hands full with his assassin teachings or lessons.
that turned out.
Do you think Dew's going to be upset that this one was true?
Probably,
this
yeah,
was
the
really
first one to be true. and
different
Yeah,
this
he
week?
wasn't here for it. That's disappointing for him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dew.
It's the
We miss
way the news goes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that's it. we got it. The storms are coming. We're out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Not yet. That's the wrong time.
That's the wrong time.
Now you got to do it again. But after show, anybody? Man, I wish I could remember what the hell that damn Traders thing was. I watched Conclave was too long for the treadmill last night, so I was not going to put in an extra like 30 minutes on the treadmill.
I heard you complaining to Piper last night. You were like, it's a real rigmarole or like a real racket.
I was getting up and I had to
talking to me.
I had to get my shoes. So it's community day. I did the Pikmin Bloom community day walk, and I do it as close to midnight as I can to get it over with. But when I'm down there walking in the treadmill, I usually put my cell phone in the holder. I have a holder hanging from a ceiling beam, and I watch stuff on my phone. But I can't do that for community day because I need my phone in my pocket to track the steps.
Right.
So I have to set up my laptop. And my laptop, which is here now, does not have a battery in it. So I have to have it plugged in. But also, I need something to put the laptop on. So I have to drag over 2 giant speakers to put the laptop on top of, in front of the treadmill. And then I have to run an extent. I have to do a power strip because I need another socket to plug everything in, and then I got to get a long cord for the headphones so I can plug it in, and then I have to tuck the headphone cord into my waistband because the static electricity makes it click all the time unless I ground it by putting it on my body. And then it has a microphone on the earbud, and I have to mute the microphone and then tuck it into my necklace so I don't hear the as I'm walking on the treadmill. So it's a whole rigmarole. And as I got up to do it, Piper was like, meow. And I was like, I know, Piper, it's a lot. I got to carry this thing down. So I was complaining to her about
Yeah,
that.
I was like, wait, are you like I was
and then she like followed me down there and ran the loop of on top of the bookcases and was like screaming to get into the back of the basement. And I was like, you don't want in here. Not what we're doing. It's no fun back here. So yeah, we had a big talk, but she made some good points and she convinced me to just go through with it and do it. So
yeah, I had like, it takes me like a long time to get like settled just right. Like I make like 20 minutes worth of micro adjustments before I'm like finally, and then I heard you and I was like, my face was like in the pillow and I was like, if I have to pick my head up to say what,
he was grumbling that loud or
By the way, this is completely a lie. And I wasn't that loud because she's in bed and I'm in a living room. I told you
in the
a bazillion times. Yeah, I was in the living room.
On the treadmill?
No.
That's
why I was talking to the
about
cat.
not wanting to go down. But I didn't know what you were talking about, so I thought you were like
you were in bed. I'm going to say maybe at most 10 minutes because I went down right away to do the walk.
That's all her little micro.
I was
transaction,
and like I said, I was like literally like my face. Because
I said you hang out for another 20 minutes and then I got to go do my walk and you go to bed, and that's exactly what happened. But I watched 2 episodes of. Well, I watched an episode and a half of the Traders. So, man, I wish I could remember what I wanted to tell you, but it's gone. That Traders is so damn good. It's a really, really good reality show. And I was telling my sister, who was also watching the Traders, this season in particular is very tough to watch and very compelling to watch because the people that are dumb are very dumb, and the people that are smart are really smart. And in this series in particular, the traders are having a lot of fights among each other. So it's very compelling to watch that. But then there are people who are like, I think we should vote you out because I'm very good at sensing energies, and the energy shifted when you were near. And I'm like, you stupid assholes. Like, why you're going to burn? And like somebody, I don't want to spoil, but somebody had a very close friend in the show. And they're like, I really hope I'm wrong. But when you had a conversation about this, your energy shifted. And and I'm like, this is why you're going to vote somebody out. And in particular, somebody I really liked. And they got.
Is that person's personality in their other reality world?
I don't know. It's a.
I guess so,
I want to say it's a housewife. No, I don't think it was a housewife person. I don't know. It was like one of those selling shows, like selling some city, a real estate show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But again, I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil because this series is actively happening now. So I'm 2 episodes away from being completely caught up. But boy, is it a hell of a compelling show. And there was one person I wanted to be voted out so bad. And one guy on the show was on to this person from day one, and nobody would listen to them. And they just kept coming up with more compelling reasons. And then we go to people who are like, your aura and vibe, and they vote them out. I'm like, what are you people doing? Finally, they voted out this person, and I was like, thank God. And they're like, man, you were on to them from day one. He's like, yes, I was. He's like, I'm trying to play the game they're supposed to play, not just like their face went, oh, and I was like, oh, they made a weird face. They're gonna be a trap. I'm like, Jesus Christ, people, but that's part of the show. That's it. It's very easy to watch the show and be like, how did I not know? Because I'm watching an edited version and all that. So it'd be a very interesting show to actually play.
So
all I know
is it always the same
traders
trader?
are?
No, they change, right?
What do you mean?
Do the traders change from episode to episode, or they're
No.
always the same?
Yes. They may make new traders as the show goes on.
They're chosen from the beginning, and their goal
in the beginning
is to get people kicked out and to also shift other people to their side.
No.
Okay.
Sometimes throughout the season, they are given the option to change a faithful to a traitor, but the faithful has to take the option. The faithful can turn it down, and they never know who the traitors are. They just get a note that says you're being invited to become a traitor if you want, and they can turn it down or not. Yes, so you know who all the traitors are. The traitors don't change. I've never seen a season where a traitor can become a faithful. I've only seen seasons where faithful can become traitors. And right now, this season, I won't say anything.
No, you don't. You're not given. You don't know who the traitor is in the beginning. They don't show that.
Yeah, they do. As the viewer, you know who the traitors are. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, you have to. Every episode has a session where all the traitors get together to kill somebody.
Okay.
I was thinking that while I was watching it. I was like, it'd be really interesting if one season they kept it extra secretive for the viewer, and you find out later on that somebody was a traitor.
That would be like a real life clue.
Yes.
For sure.
But it's just a fascinating show to watch it play out. And people, there's one person this season that is very, very they're very clued in. Like when they say they have a feeling something's going on because this, that, or the other thing, they're usually right. And they had a situation where they were like very much on to something that was happening, but they don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. So they didn't have quite enough to get to the solution, but they were like on the trail without a doubt. There's also another guy who's like a detective. He's a cop, and he's like, whatever, talks up about how he does this for a living, and he has no idea what's going on. It's amazing. But great show. Lots of fun. If you haven't watched it, it's on Peacock. Watch it. Yes, Drake, we are watching. Well, MomBrain is not. She hasn't started a new season, but Nicky Hill and I are watching Severance. Yes, I take it you watched the most recent episode.
I have.
It was a fun episode.
It's crazy, man.
I
watch that, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, there's only 2 seasons, and I don't know how they're gonna.
I will say,
I feel like there's so much to even if they started wrapping up right now, where we are in the season, like, I feel like we can't get it all.
I don't want to spoil anything, but the major thing that happened in this episode, did you know that?
Yeah. I had my feelings.
Yeah. Okay. It's just because I was reading online because I felt like I was crazy because lots of people are like, I had no idea. And I was like, I feel like suspicions were there right from the beginning, but I don't know. I figured you guys would feel the same. So I'm glad I'm not crazy about that. But it was a wonderful episode. And especially
the episode, I think is incredible.
Yeah. Right, the vibe, the way it was shot, it's a great show.
The directors of photography on that show are killing it.
It's a wonderful show. If you're not watching Severance, I'd say Severance is a reason to get Apple TV+.
I just got chills. The final shot of that episode, it's giving me chills now. Like, and it's not stopping. I'm freezing.
It's a great episode. Well, apropos for the episode.
Yeah. No, it's
great show. If you're not watching it, watch it. We can't talk too much because we'll spoil. But that's it. Nicky, he'll get your kiss ready. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And we